Chapter 1260. Wei Yishan definitely didn't sleep for the entire night as he struggled with his thoughts. Now that the other party had their eyes on him, he definitely couldn't escape. He could only choose to obey or resist. These were the only two options he could take. He took a deep breath. He hadn't experienced this kind of torment for a long time. What Wei Yishan wanted to know the most right now was who exactly the other party was. At least, even if he died in their hands, he would know who to seek revenge from. At the very least, when he wrote his will, he would write that his son would deal with this group of Americans when he was successful. At least, he wouldn't have raised him for so many years in vain. Once a person thought it through and became open-minded, he wouldn't be afraid of anything. Wei Yishan's only remaining thought wasn't when he would have a grandchild, but how to transfer his business in Zhonghua. As long as he didn't take the initiative to contact his wife and children in Europe, they definitely wouldn't think of contacting him. Even if he died, they wouldn't be able to contact him for a while. Sigh, headache. Everything was a headache. Wei Yishan had been in the limelight for half his life. He never expected that he would decline so quickly. In just a split second, he seemed to have aged a lot. If you haven't slept yet, come down and talk. Suddenly, a voice came from the living room downstairs, causing Wei Yishan to shiver. How could he forget who this voice belonged to? It was the Empress. Zhualengyue. It was already so late. Why did she suddenly appear in his house? Could it be that Zhualengyue had already found out about his collusion with those Americans? And now, she was here to end his life? The chill that rose from his heart made Wei Yishan's body somewhat stiff. In a daze, he lifted his feet and walked downstairs. Seeing Zhualengyue sitting in the middle of the living room, Wei Yishan didn't say a word and sat opposite her. If Zhualengyue wanted to take his life now, then so be it. Just give him a quick death. This way, he wouldn't have to think about anything. If he died, then so be it. Everything would be over. When Wei Yishan was ready to accept the end of his life, he was actually very calm. He knew that it was useless to resist. If he were to fight with the 13 foreigners, he might be able to drag 2 of them down with him. At least he would have someone to accompany him on the road to hell. But facing Zhualengyue, any resistance he had would be powerless. He was very clear about this point. After all, Zhualengyue was a sky-profound realm expert, the leader of the 3 emperors, the supreme being of the underground world. He, Wei Yishan, was nothing but an ant in front of Zhualengyue. Zhualengyue probably felt that killing him would dirty her hands. What could he use to resist? Ha ha ha. I kind of admire your calm and composed look. Zhualengyue said indifferently, what are you thinking about? If you want to kill me, I only ask that you give me a quick death, Wei Yishan said. I'm already over 50 years old, and I've already gotten over it. At the very least, he had left a descendant for old Wei's ancestor, and had lived a life of honor for his ancestors. I, Wei Yishan, have no regrets. If you want to kill me or torture me, do as you please. Zhualengyue chuckled. No wonder you're so calm. It turns out you're even prepared to die. Not bad, not bad. Didn't you come here to kill me? Wei Yishan was indeed prepared to face everything. At the beginning. Zhualengyue said, however, after seeing your attitude towards the 12 heavenly stars today, I actually admire you a little more. Wei Yishan, you're also a man of integrity. I, Zhualengyue, don't kill people of integrity. Have integrity? Wei Yishan was startled. Zhualengyue had already come to his house. But he knew nothing about it. A sky-profound realm expert was indeed a sky-profound realm expert. She really came and went like a ghost, and no one could even detect her presence. Did you just say the 12 heavenly stars? What does that mean? Wei Yishan was surprised, but he also caught the main point in Zhualengyue's words. Obviously, the 12 heavenly stars were those foreigners. Zhualengyue sat on the sofa expressionlessly and said indifferently, the 12 heavenly stars of the CIA of the United States are the people who surrounded you in your house today. 12 heavenly stars. Wei Yishan muttered to himself, but, if I remember correctly, there should be 13 of them. The twin stars are twin brothers. Zhuolengyue answered without thinking. As for why she knew so much, Wei Yishan didn't dare to ask. But what kind of person was the Empress? It wasn't difficult for her to know these things. Since Zhuolengyue said so, there must be no mistake. Wei Yishan was silent for a while before he said, I did want to cooperate with them to regain the face I lost in Guqin Island. But later, when I found out their purpose, I suddenly didn't want to do so. Why? Because you also know that if Kevin Matthew is taken away by the Americans, it will be very bad for our country, right? Zhuolengyue said. Wei Yishan shook his head and then nodded. He didn't know how to answer. He also didn't know if he really considered the country's problem, but he just felt that such a genius being used by the country was the best result. This is why I didn't kill you, Zhuolengyue said, but I really didn't expect you to be a man of integrity. Wei Yishan smiled helplessly. What integrity? He was just following his heart. Originally, when I found out that you were in cahoots with the 12 heavenly stars and wanted to play some tricks on Su Yun, my purpose of coming here was to kill you, Zhuolengyue said, but I didn't expect that after coming here, I found out that you had other intentions. If the Empress wants to make a move, I definitely won't resist. I'll be at your disposal. Wei Yishan still had a look of awe-inspiring righteousness. Zhuolengyue raised her left eyebrow. How can you resist? Wei Yishan was speechless. Whether he resisted or not was meaningless. These words really made him feel suffocated. But who asked Zhuolengyue to be so powerful? What else could he say? The 12 heavenly stars have their eyes on you now. Zhuolengyue said, if I were you, I feel that I can use this to my advantage. Wei Yishan raised his head. You mean, if you want to release all your subordinates who were arrested in Yanjing, then you can cooperate with Su Yun. Zhuolengyue said, if the 12 heavenly stars want to use you to trap Su Yun, you can cooperate with Su Yun and turn the tables on them. You, Buddha Wei, can't not understand such a simple logic? Wei Yishan suddenly understood. I understand. You mean to let me talk about this with Su Yun openly. If we cooperate, our chances of success will definitely increase greatly. You have good comprehension. Zhuolengyue nodded, and then reminded, but you must not let him know that I asked you to do this. You haven't seen me since the incident at Guqin Island. Do you understand what I mean? Wei Yishan opened his eyes wide and nodded after a long time. Understood. Zhuolengyue left after saying this, leaving Wei Yishan bewildered. He guessed the relationship between the Empress and Su Yun 10,000 times in his heart. No matter what, Wei Yishan was very clear about one thing. Su Yun absolutely could not be offended. Chapter 1261. Su Yun and the others didn't speak for the whole night. After drinking a little wine, they all fell asleep in a daze. They only woke up at 9:30 a.m. the next day. Anyway, they would be fine after eating something. They directly drove back to Shenjiang to prepare a honeymoon suite for Ma San'er. Anyway, Su Yun had special privileges. It wouldn't be a problem even if he didn't report back to Yanjing. He just needed to call Wang Yi and inform him. However, just as they were about to leave Zhonghui, Wei Yishan came to their door. Su Yun was somewhat surprised by Wei Yishan's arrival. He didn't expect it. He really didn't expect it. According to the mentality of a normal person, if he was Wei Yishan, he would definitely avoid it if he could. He couldn't let trouble come to him. At this time, the best choice Wei Yishan should make was to hide far away instead of coming here to make trouble for himself. Buddha Wei, what instructions do you have? Is there anything between us that hasn't been sorted out? Su Yun smiled slightly and pointed. Sit anywhere. When Wei Yishan appeared, Lin Ge, Ma San'er, and Shen Chen's eyes all focused on him. Wei Yishan was a little unnatural and awkward for a moment. However, this was their hotel room and he was their subordinate. He couldn't say anything. He could only bite the bullet and sit on a chair. After going through the words he thought of last night in his mind, he cleared his throat. Ahem. I'm here to discuss something with you. Wei Yishan said faintly. I don't know if you have time now. Can you listen to me? Sorry, our brother Yun is too busy. He has to rush back to do business. Can you not disturb him? Ma San hurriedly stepped forward and said, If you cause any more trouble, then my Shenzhen honeymoon trip will have to be postponed again. I'm still waiting for Su Yun to return to Shenzhen to prepare a presidential suite overlooking the entire city. I don't have the time to argue with an old man like you. Wei Yishan looked a little embarrassed. In the 20 years before today, no one had dared to speak to him so impatiently, making him unable to speak. This was really the first time. It was like splitting heaven and earth apart. Lin Gu lamented in his heart. To think that the great overlord Wei of Zhonghui would end up like this. If it was half a year ago, they probably wouldn't have dared to touch Wei Yishan. Just his subordinate, Xiong Feng, was enough to give him a headache. However, the world was full of changes. Who would have thought that Wei Yishan, who had a high reputation in the underground world, would sit in front of Su Yun and use a humble tone to discuss something with him? Lord Wei, if you have something to say, just say it. Su Yun said, I like to deal with straightforward people. Since you can find me at this time, I also believe that you must have some serious business. You can't be so bored that you want to play Fight the Landlord and call me over because you're short of one person. What's the matter? Just say it. Wei Yishan admired Su Yun very much. This kid was meticulous, serious, and rigorous in doing things. He was a material for great things. Okay, since you said so, I'm also a straightforward person. I'll go all out. Shen Chen saw that Su Yun was quite patient with Wei Yishan, so he poured a glass of water for Wei Yishan. Wei Yishan took the glass of water and felt quite emotional. It was like a tiger that had fallen from grace, but someone still gave him face. This feeling was better than anything else. Wei Yishan drank half the glass of water and said faintly, I arranged for my people to follow you because I want to get information about someone. Wei Yishan began to talk, and Su Yun listened quietly. He believed that Wei Yishan wouldn't make such a big move against him for no reason. He wouldn't arrange so many people to find trouble with him. There was no need to go to such lengths for a small matter between them. Wei Yishan definitely had no choice but to do this, or he was blinded by some benefits. That person called Kevin Matthew, Wei Yishan said. Su Yun remained calm and said slowly, Back then, Randolph from the Gambino family looked for you for help because of this. Who's looking for you this time? Buddha Wei, you know that this is a trap, but you still insist on jumping into it. I can't stop you. How great are the benefits? There aren't any benefits this time. It's just a threat. Wei Yishan said, Actually, my life has been worth living until now. I'm not afraid of death, but I have concerns. Haha, maybe I'm not a competent father, but when I'm faced with some terrifying things, I'll still think of my son. Lin Gu crossed his arms. What kind of people are they? To think that they can threaten you, Buddha Wei. The 12 heavenly stars. Wei Yishan didn't hesitate. After all, he had already made his decision. Whether this choice was right or wrong, he couldn't care less. Su Yun frowned. Lin Gu also stopped crossing his arms casually. When Shen Chen saw their expressions, he knew that the other party's background wasn't simple. The 12 heavenly stars. Just from the code name alone, it sounded quite domineering. What's that? 12 heavenly stars? What 12 constellations? Ma Saner said, Zi Shu Cho Nyo In Hu Mao Rabbit Chen Long Si Snake Wu Ma Wei Goat Shen Ho Yu Chicken Su Dog Hai Pig. I know this stuff like the back of my hand. However, Ma Saner's frivolous words didn't change the serious atmosphere at all. The 12 heavenly stars of the CIA? Su Yun's gaze was fixed on Wei Yishan's face. If he was lying, he would definitely be able to see through it. Yes. Wei Yishan nodded. That's right. Lin Gu raised his eyebrows and said to Ma Saner, These 12 heavenly stars aren't Zi Shu Cho Nyo as you said. They're the 12 constellations. Ma Saner was stunned. Damn, are you serious? Are you talking to me about Saint Seiya? The 12 constellations. After saying that, Ma San'er even swayed his hips and sang a song by Li Hom. Go to Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Lion, Virgin, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. A woman's heart is ever changing. Go to Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Lion, Virgin, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. A woman's heart is ever changing. This isn't a joke. Wei Yishan looked at the dancing Ma San'er and thought to himself, how can this guy be so careless? The CIA is a very powerful department. The people who come out of there are no rookies. They are all experts. According to my observation, all of them are not weak. Some of them are even quite strong. Ma San'er didn't really trust Wei Yishan, but when he saw that Su Yun and Lin Ge didn't have any smiles on their faces, he really couldn't smile. He was a know-it-all in Huaxia. He was familiar with the underground world in Huaxia, but he wasn't familiar with the foreign devils on the other side of the ocean. Are those people very powerful? Ma San'er's inquiring gaze stayed on Su Yun. Su Yun nodded silently. If I'm not wrong, the strength of the 12 heavenly stars should be at the first level of the Grandmaster realm in our underground world. Some might even reach the 7th or 8th level. Damn! Ma San'er was speechless. What kind of concept was the 8th level of the Grandmaster realm? Wei Yishan might not be able to reach it. Let's just say what we know. The head of the Yen Sect's flying daggers, Jin Guai, is only at the 8th level of the Grandmaster realm. The deputy commander of the Dragon Brigade, Wang Yi, is only at the 8th level. Even if Su Yun's strength has advanced by leaps and bounds, he can barely reach the 5th or 6th level, right? Are you kidding? Ma San'er said, there are people who are so strong in the United States? Of course there are. There is always someone better than you. There are 3 kings in the underground world of Huaxia, and there are also kings in the underground world of Western countries. Su Yun said, there is never an end to the number of experts. Are you sure that there is no one above Empress Zhualangyue? Humph. Maybe there are even more powerful experts who don't care about these empty titles and are not known at all. Chapter 1262. Why should we believe you? Lin Ge frowned. Since the party that wants to cooperate with you is so strong, why do you still have to take the risk to choose us? Isn't it good to cooperate with them directly? It's safe, easy, and saves you trouble. Wei Yishan snorted. Of course he didn't want to. Wasn't it because he was forced into a corner? I, Wei Yishan, am not a smart person, but I'm definitely not a fool. Wei Yishan said, I don't want to provoke you now. I want to stay as far away from you as possible. The second choice is to cooperate with them to solve your problems. The most unwise choice is to work with you to deal with them. Yes, that's true. Su Yun said, that's why I'm curious. What's driving you to do this? What's in it for you? If there's no benefit, then you're obviously asking for trouble. Just like you said, you're not a fool. It's impossible for you to do something that doesn't make sense to you. You know that the most unwise choice is to work with us to deal with them, so why are you doing this? Wei Yishan was silent for about 10 seconds. I just want to know what I can do in the last time I say goodbye to the underground world, so that you can release my brothers who followed you in Yanjing and were caught by you. This is the last wish I want to fulfill. What? Are you going to wash your hands of it? But you're already involved in this kind of thing. Can you still wash your hands of it? Lin Ji's words were somewhat mocking. Indeed, getting involved in the matter between them and the 12 heavenly stars was not a matter that one could easily escape from. It was very likely that one would lose one's life because of this. What was the point of washing one's hands in a golden basin? Su Yun smiled slightly. Buddha Wei, forgive me for being blunt. From what I know of you, I'm afraid you're not someone who values relationships and cares about your brothers and friends. This is not your way of doing things. What am I like in your eyes? Wei Yishan said with some self-mockery. A smiling tiger? A fake morality? You can send your brothers to their deaths at any time. Is there anything else you want to add? Well, you said it very clearly yourself. I have nothing to add. Su Yun smiled. Back then, when he got rid of Xiong Feng to appease the Empress's anger, Wei Yishan didn't have a good image in his heart. He looked down on people like Wei Yishan who would betray his brother in the face of danger in order to save himself. Wei Yishan lowered his head in shame. I admit that I've done a lot of despicable things. Now that I think about it, I despise myself for those things. But when I did it, I admit that I didn't hesitate because of my own selfishness. After a pause, Wei Yishan continued, but now, I don't think so anymore. I want to be worthy of those brothers who have risked their lives for me, and this is my last chance. I, Wei Yishan, have been afraid of death for half my life. Now, I want to live with some backbone. These words sounded reasonable. Moreover, Wei Yishan's expression was solemn and very serious. Buddha Wei, tell me, how should we cooperate? At this moment, Su Yun had already accepted Wei Yishan 80%. As long as he came up with a good plan, everything wouldn't be a problem. Wei Yishan nodded. If we want to fight with the 12 heavenly stars now, we will definitely suffer heavy losses. Also, their whereabouts are strange. We can't find any clues even if we want to launch a sneak attack. If we want to take them down with the least losses, we have to lure them in and lure the snake out of its hole. Wei Yishan's mouth was a little dry. He drank a cup of water and continued, They know that I helped you with Hu Xingsu's matter, so they suspect that I have some friendship with you. They want me to use this relationship to get close to you so that they can get information about Kevin Matthew. I haven't agreed to their request. The bottom line they gave me is tonight. They will look for me tonight, and I will agree to their request then. After a pause, Wei Yishan continued, I believe that they have people following me and you. Therefore, they must know that I have come to see you. I said that I have already made contact with you. You aren't really planning to make contact with us to get information from us, are you? Ma San'er grinned and laughed. He thought about it again. If he really wanted to get information from them, he wouldn't have said what he wanted to. If you do this and they see through it, won't that be a dead end? No matter what I do, it's a dead end, Wei Yishan said. These words really enlightened him. If he cooperated with the 12 heavenly stars, Zhualangyue wouldn't let him go. If he chose not to cooperate with anyone, the 12 heavenly stars wouldn't let him go either. Now that he chose to cooperate with Su Yun, he was the one who was at the greatest risk. If he wasn't careful, he could lose his life at any time. Su Yun smiled faintly and said, I'm impressed. As expected of Buddhist Lord Wei. Since you have said so, I have to thank you properly. The 12 heavenly stars are notorious. They have infiltrated many countries' confidential information. If Buddha Wei is willing to cooperate, we will let them fall in Huaxia. Wei Yishan was a little excited. I've been waiting for you to say that. You have so many people in Yanjing, so we will lure them to Yanjing. At that time, we will definitely be able to catch them all in one fell swoop. Buddha Wei, haste makes waste. If we lure them to Yanjing now, they will definitely notice that something is wrong. Su Yun said lightly, last time, so many of your people fell in Yanjing. Do you think the 12 heavenly stars won't be worried that Yanjing is a trap? They won't be easily lured to Yanjing by us. Then Brother Su Yun's intention is. Wei Yishan had already started to naturally worm his way into being friends. At his age, calling a young man brother was giving him face. We will do our things as usual. You will say that you have made contact with us. We need some time to get information from them. From now on, you will follow us wherever we go. They will naturally follow us closely. Su Yun smiled. As long as they did not go straight to Yanjing, they would definitely not suspect that there was a problem. Wei Yishan nodded slowly. Su Yun's words made sense. It was indeed the case. If he brought them to Yanjing directly, they would realize that something was wrong even if they were stupid. He would bring them to other places first and then deal with this matter. No one would know. After you go back, it's up to you how to tell them. Su Yun said, Buddha Wei, I believe that you will definitely do this well. What about us? Where are we going? Ma San'er asked. Shenzhen, of course. I will reward you first. Su Yun knew that Ma San was still looking forward to his own matter. He had been so busy recently. He really should thank him properly. He must reward him and his mysterious girlfriend well. Ma San smiled embarrassedly. Brother Yun, that's not what I meant. My matter is not urgent. Business is more important. That's right. I'm going to Shenzhen for official business. Su Yun said, how about this? Go back to Yanjing and pack up today. Call me before you come to Shenzhen. We will stay for a day before leaving. In order to let the 12 heavenly stars believe in our relationship, Buddha Wei, I will have to trouble you to set up a big party tonight. Chapter 1263. In Zhanghuai Province's Golden Light City, it wasn't difficult for Wei Yishan to set up a big event. As long as Wei Yishan opened his mouth, there were plenty of hotels that were willing to support him. Wei Yishan didn't go home alone for the entire day. After leaving Su Yun's hotel, Wei Yishan went straight to Golden Light City's Dragon Capital Manor. This was definitely an expensive place that everyone in Zhanghuai Province knew about. Even if one had the money, they might not be able to come here. The Dragon Capital Manor's owner's status wasn't ordinary, so Wei Yishan wasn't interested in rich people. Because the Dragon Capital Manor's owner had a reputation in society, even if the price here was shockingly high, it was still full every day. If one wanted to book a meal, those who were close to him would book it at least 1 day in advance, while those who weren't close to him would book it at least 3 days in advance. Although there weren't any empty seats in the manor tonight, since Wei Yishan had opened his mouth, they had to give him face. In the Dragon Capital Manor's reception room, Wang Chongbao slapped his thick thigh and said, Great. Since Lord Zhang has spoken, if I don't give him face, how am I going to survive in Zhanghuai in the future? Tonight, I will definitely set up the banquet properly for Lord Zhang. It will be the highest level of reception in our manor. Don't worry about the wine, I got some wine from the province last month. Hee. It's not bad. Didn't they have some state banquets in the past? Wei Yishan was startled. How could the state banquets and the province banquets be the same level? Was Wang Chongbao trying to trick him? Debao, I have emphasized to you before that my friends are definitely not ordinary. Lord Zhang, don't worry. The country is so strict now, and the leaders are so strict with the rules. Those who said they would use state banquets are all bullshit. Wang Chongbao said, there's no such thing now. They just casually go to the big wineries and bring back some top-grade wine. But our state banquets are definitely the real deal. Hee, I just found a way. Actually, the wine we serve downstairs is even better than the state banquets. Wang Chongbao didn't know how to describe it and could only give a thumbs up. Wei Yishan nodded. If even a drunkard like Wang Chongbao said something like that, then the wine must be pretty good. Huaxia people were particular about the use of alcohol at dinners. No matter how good the food was, if there was no wine, then it wouldn't be tasty at all. Therefore, wine was a very important part of the process. Debao, I'll leave everything to you. I trust you. Don't worry, Lord Zheng. Tonight, the hall in our manor is reserved for you. Although Chen Sangue asked me to leave the Hall of Brotherhood for him yesterday, I would rather offend him because of your request, Wang Chongbao said with a grin. Wei Yishan thought to himself that Chen Sangue was not doing too badly in Zhanghuai. Within 10 years, he had made a fortune in the construction industry. Since then, things had gotten out of hand. He was involved in usury, microfinance, and shopping malls. In any case, he had a hand in all sorts of businesses. He was also a crab that could do whatever he wanted in Golden Light City. If someone were to ask who in Golden Light City was on equal footing with Wei Yishan, 9 out of 10 people would probably think of Chen Sangui's name. However, Wang Chongbao would embarrass Chen Sangui because of Wei Yishan. That also explained a problem. Even if everyone felt that Chen Sangui was qualified to be on equal footing with Wei Yishan, in their hearts, the deep-rooted #1 person in Golden Light City was still Zhang Wei. This was because Zhang Wei's character was completely different from Chen Sangui's. In the eyes of most people, Zhang Wei always had a smiling face, while Chan Sangui always had a ferocious expression in most people's eyes. This was the biggest difference between Chan Sangui and Zhang Wei. Therefore, Wang Chongbao chose to explain to Chan Sangui and let Zhang Wei have the place. This was because he felt that Wei Yishan would not speak to him unless it was extremely urgent. He also believed that Chan Sangui would not embarrass Wei Yishan because of this matter. After lunch, Shen Chen drove Su Yun's car to send Ma San'er to the airport. Shen Chen was not in a good mood today. Ma San'er could tell what was on his mind. "Shen Chen, what are you thinking about?" "Nothing," Shen Chen said faintly. "After you arrive in Beijing, send us a text message to let us know that you have arrived home safely. It's almost time. Go ahead." "Well, I'm not a Ma Hang. What's there to be afraid of?" Ma San'er said, "I know what you're thinking. This matter is over, but you don't know where you should go. Am I right?" Shen Chen did not expect Ma San'er to be so direct. He did not think much and nodded. It was true. He really did not know where he should go. "Since Brother Yun did not ask you to leave, what are you worried about?" Ma San'er said, "He didn't ask because he saw your character. He wants you to stay by his side. You should perform well. Su Yun is in Jibei, Qingdao, and Xinjiang. He has properties everywhere. He is even the honorary president of the Taiwan Three Lotus Society. Tell me, where do you want to go? Brother Yun can't do it." Ma San'er heard about the Three Lotus Society from Lin Gu. "Brother Yun really won't dislike me? Will he let me work in Sky Entertainment?" Shen Chen was not confident. "I have been in society for so many years. I really want to do something serious." "Really?" While the two of them were chatting in the parking lot, a middle-aged man with a messy beard was squatting on the stone steps of the green belt not far away. "Brother Yun is doing serious things. If you go, you won't be able to do anything wrong." Ma San'er grinned and patted Shen Chen's shoulder. "Okay, I'm leaving. Go back and do your work. Put more effort into your work. Big Brother Yun will see that." After watching Ma San'er enter the airport, Shen Chen was about to drive back. However, when he turned around, the middle-aged man who was sitting next to the green belt suddenly stood behind him. Shen Chen's first reaction was that this man was going to sneak up on him. He raised his fist and punched. However, the middle-aged man who looked messy just flashed back and dodged the punch. He immediately put his face in front of Shen Chen. "Young man, don't be so angry. I just want to ask you something. You don't have to hit me, right?" Shen Chen knew that he had met an expert. "Senior, if you have something to say, please say it. I heard you guys talking about Sky Entertainment Corporation and Big Brother Yun. Don't tell me you guys are talking about Su Yun?" The middle-aged man chuckled. Shen Chen opened his mouth wide and nodded mechanically. It seemed that this person was really an expert. "Yes." "Senior, do you know Brother Yun?" "Of course I know him. We are brothers." The unkempt middle-aged man grinned and muttered to himself, "Why did this kid come here?" After that, the middle-aged man walked to the car and knocked on the door. "Let's go." "What are you waiting for?" To be honest, it was Shen Chen. If it was someone else, they would definitely not let such a messy middle-aged man get on the Kian. After all, this middle-aged man looked like a scavenger. Except for his temperament, he was a scavenger in every aspect. Chapter 1264. The sloppy uncle was none other than the wine-sword immortal, Xian Yuanji. When he first met Xian Yuanji only revealed less than a tenth of his power, which made Su Yun mistakenly believe that he was a Grandmaster Realm expert. When Su Yun reached the Grandmaster Realm, he realized that Xian Yuanji was hiding most of his strength. This time, when he met Xian Yuanji again, Su Yun was no longer the young and mediocre kid. He had also become a Grandmaster Realm expert. Xian Yuanji sized up Su Yun, smiled and said, not bad, you have a future. You're really a good material. Ha 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 ha. How long has it been since we last met? Little brother's strength has advanced by leaps and bounds. I really don't dare to believe it. Senior, please don't call me little brother anymore. Su Yun smiled awkwardly. At that time, I didn't know anything and called you brother. Now that I think about it, I really don't know the rules. Yo, when did you become so sophisticated? I hate those hypocritical ways of the world the most. Xian Yuanji shook his head. Little brother, you can't be assimilated into that kind of person. I look down on that kind of person the most. Do you understand? If I say you're my little brother, then you're my little brother. Our relationship is ours, my relationship with them is theirs. Su Yun quite liked people like Xian Yuanji. They didn't put on airs, didn't feel pressured, and made people feel very comfortable. Brother, then I won't be polite. Hee. Why do you look so miserable? Did something happen? Looking at Xian Yuanji's appearance as a scavenger, he didn't look like a fierce person at the third level of the Earth Profound Realm. To be able to make him this miserable, it definitely wasn't done by an ordinary person. Su Yun was still very curious about this. Who could make Xian Yuanji look like this? It definitely wasn't a good person. Sigh, don't mention it. I've encountered a real-life version of a world without thieves. Xian Yuanji patted his head unhappily. I just took a nap on the train for a while, and all my luggage disappeared. At that time, I was stunned. I went to find the conductor, but the conductor said they couldn't deal with it. The train had already stopped 2 stations, and there was no way to determine when someone took my things off the train. What the hell, the train had already stopped 2 stations, and you call that taking a nap? Wasn't he just in a dead sleep? I'm afraid that if someone took your things, you wouldn't wake you up. Sigh, the moral degeneration of the world is getting worse day by day. What kind of people are these? There's nothing that they don't steal. Xian Yuanji shook his head helplessly. For such a small amount of money, is it worth it? I really don't understand. Senior, how much money do you have? Lin Guo was also quite curious. Thieves nowadays wouldn't make a move on the train for a small wallet, right? After all, if one was caught on the train, they wouldn't be able to escape. They couldn't possibly jump out of the train, right? Stealing money, 2,000 yuan or 20,000 yuan was the same, and the thief wouldn't do it for a few thousand yuan. Xian Yuanji touched his chin and thought for a while. It should be around 300,000 yuan? I don't remember, who knows? F*ck, it can't be. Su Yun and Lin Guo were speechless. Why did you bring so much money on the train? Wasn't it obvious that someone was going to steal it? Why did you bring so much money on the train? Xian Yuanji shrugged his shoulders. I helped a boss settle a small matter. I did a French service and received 500,000 yuan, so I brought my own pocket money. At the train station, I met a pitiful woman with a child. They were so hungry that they couldn't even eat, so I gave them 100,000 yuan and let them start a small business. In the future, they won't have to beg at the train station to feed their family. Su Yun's head was covered in cold sweat. F*ck, you're really looking for trouble. Is the train station a place where you can just ask for food? If you weren't a member of the beggars sect and didn't have any connections, do you think the security guards at the train station don't have eyes? Now, those people who wear tattered clothes and pretend to be pitiful, how can they be called beggars? They are simply asking for money. They really don't lack your stuttering money. What they want is the money in your pocket and wallet, and they might even have more money than you. Brother, you must have been targeted. Su Yun, the person who stole your money must be related to the mother and daughter who asked for money from you. You exposed your wealth, and the train station is full of crooks and honest people. You must have been targeted. Moreover, these people are very likely to have been called by the woman you gave alms to. Seeing that you are so generous and not scheming, who else would they steal from if not you? What do you think? Xian Yuanji was startled and slapped his thigh. Brother, now that you mention it, I'm a little puzzled. Like I said, how could a thief know that there's money in my broken bag? If he wanted to steal, he would have stolen someone else's bag. I only have a pair of starry canvas bags. What's there to steal? Su Yun sighed. His brother Xian Yuanji was too useless. He didn't have much life experience. Shen Chen's body trembled. The expert was indeed an expert. He was different from ordinary people. He was open-minded. He didn't care about trifles. A few 100,000 yuan was stolen, and he was so calm, as if nothing had happened. The world is so cold. Shen Yuanji said helplessly. After my money was stolen, I was despised even when I was eating a bowl of noodles. They said that I was eating a free meal. I said that it wasn't that I didn't want to pay, but that I really didn't have it now. When I have it, I will definitely return it. In the end, the boss didn't believe me. He even threatened me with a knife and told me to scram. Isn't it just 8 yuan for a bowl of noodles, plus 5 yuan of beef? It's only 13 yuan in total. Even if I eat a free meal, I wouldn't eat like this, right? Brother, you've worked hard these 2 days. Su Yun was speechless. It didn't matter what you ate. If you didn't pay, the other party would definitely not be willing. It was originally a small business. During the day, they had to face the strict inspection of the city management. At night, they had to face the harassment of the society. If you ate a bowl of noodles with meat without paying, would the other party be willing? Of course not. I heard that you were here, so I came directly with this brother. In a while, you bring me to return the money to the noodle boss. Shen Yuanji said, let him know that I'm not eating a free meal. Although Shen Yuanji said that, Su Yun knew very well that he said that because he didn't want to owe the other party, even if it was only 13 yuan. Senior, you can rest assured. Leave this to me. You tell me the place, and I'll go and give the money to him now. Shan Chen remembered Ma Sener's advice. If he was diligent and had a good eye, Brother Yun would definitely appreciate him. No, I'll do it myself. Shen Yuanji said very seriously. Shen Chen didn't say anything. If this senior wanted to teach the noodle boss a lesson, he would definitely do it one step earlier. Letting Brother Yun Senior not worry was to let Brother Yun not worry. Brother, I'll take you to eat something first, and then change your clothes. It's not too late to go later. Su Yun smiled slightly. He could see what Shen Yuanji was thinking. Just give me a change of clothes. We won't eat any more. I still miss that bowl of noodles. Let's go eat noodles. Shen Yuanji said, it's my treat. Everyone will have a bowl of noodles with beef. Everyone was speechless. This senior Shen Yuanji really didn't want to eat noodles today. Shen Yuanji took a shower and changed into the clothes that Shen Chen bought from the mall. It was quite suitable. It had to be said that clothes make the man. Half an hour ago, Shen Yuanji was a sloppy middle-aged uncle. Now, after shaving his beard and wearing casual clothes, he was obviously an elegant and successful man. The only thing missing was to buy a high-quality imitation of Wangua or Omega on his wrist. Let's go. Let's go and eat ramen, my treat. Shen Yuanji said confidently. After that, he realized that he didn't have any money. He looked at Su Yun and added, you pay. Chapter 1265. The four of them drove the luxury car straight to the noodle restaurant. When Shen Yuanji got out of the car, the owner of the noodle restaurant didn't recognize who he was. 4 bowls of noodles, all with meat. Shen Yuanji said, I still owe you 13 for the bowl I ate a few days ago. This time, we'll count it together. I already said, I'm not a diner. What the hell? The owner of the noodle restaurant was dumbfounded. This can't be the scavenger from a few days ago, right? At that time, he pitied him and knew that he didn't have money, but he still let him eat a bowl of noodles. But because his wife was a stingy person, he pretended to be angry and drove him away. He had been doing business for so many years. How could he not see who had money in their pockets? With the way this guy dressed that day, let alone eating noodles, he probably couldn't even afford a white steamed bun. But in just a few days, he was dressed in branded clothes, drove a luxury car, and came with 3 lackeys. This change was too earth-shattering. Not to mention that no one would believe it, even he felt that it was too unbelievable. This old boss. You can't be that day. The owner of the noodle restaurant was shocked and asked hesitantly. Yes, that's me. Shen Yuanji said, then he grinned and laughed. Boss, I really have to thank you for that bowl of noodles that day. Originally, I thought that the world was desolate, but you didn't despise me. You knew that I was a person who couldn't afford to eat, but you still gave me a bowl of noodles. This made me realize that there are still many good people in this world. The owner of the noodle restaurant swallowed a mouthful of saliva. It was good that this boss could see. He didn't do it on purpose and didn't think of anything. Boss, a bowl of noodles, I can afford it. If you want to eat something else, I don't have it here. But I like this one. Come up, I'll let my brothers have a taste. Shen Yuanji said loudly, I'll book the whole place today. Give me a big bowl of noodles, and cut a few pounds of beef first. Okay. The owner of the noodle restaurant also showed a smile. This boss didn't look like a bad person. The noodles he pulled that day weren't in vain. His wife even glared at him at night. Now that he thought about it, women are women. Their hair is long but their knowledge is short. Just look at him. One look and you can tell that this CEO is not an ordinary person. Just as the noodle shop owner was about to put the knife aside to make noodles, the knife was picked up by a dark hand. A sinister voice chuckled, Fat cattle, your business today is pretty good. You even have people booking the entire place. Your business must be booming recently, right? When the noodle shop owner heard this voice, his expression changed. He raised his head and looked at the dark-skinned young man. If it wasn't for his authentic Zhonghua accent, people would have believed that he was an African. His skin was as black as charcoal. Although the people behind him were not white, they all looked like pretty boys in comparison to him. Brother Black Chicken. The noodle shop owner's face changed, and his voice trembled. How come you have time to come here? He, do you want to eat noodles? Quick, come in and have a seat. I'll make it for you. When the noodle shop owner saw these people, she came forward very politely. Have some tea first. I'll go make some for Brother Black Chicken. All right, don't talk so much nonsense. Brother Black Chicken raised the knife in his hand and slapped it twice on his palm. How long do you want to delay the protection fee? Do you think that if you keep delaying, I, Black Chicken, won't be able to deal with you? We're old acquaintances. Last time you said that your business wasn't good, so I didn't force you. But today, I think your business is pretty good. 5,000 yuan a month isn't much. Don't waste my time. 5,000. When did it become 5,000? Last time, it was 3,000. They were small businesses. After deducting the utilities and rent, they were left with less than 10,000 yuan. Both of them were in this business, and they had 2 children who were in university. It was already difficult for them to pay 3,000 a month. Now, they had to pay another 5,000. These people were simply deranged. They really didn't want others to live. He couldn't take out so much money at all. Brother Black Chicken, when did the price increase again? The noodle shop owner's face was ugly. F***ck, you dare to question me? I increased the price because I said so. This is the rule. If you want to do business on this street, then you have to listen to my rules. Brother Black Chicken spat into the pot below and sneered. You've delayed the payment of 3,000 yuan for 2 weeks. I'll give you an additional 2,000 in interest. It's not too much, right? Looking at the spit into the pot, the noodle shop owner's face twitched. He couldn't help but clench his fists. This is too much. There were still noodles in the pot that he cooked for the other bosses. What? You still want to fight? Brother Black Chicken saw the noodle shop owner clenching his fists and making threatening gestures. F***ck, I think you're tired of living. Fat cattle, don't be so shameless. Black Chicken, you rely on Chen Songwei support and do whatever you want. If you push me to a dead end, then don't blame me for being ruthless. As the old saying goes, even a rabbit bites when it's cornered. Today, Black Chicken really pissed off the noodle shop owner. After all, the noodle shop owner was alone. Black Chicken brought a few brothers with him. They directly came up and smashed the shop. F***ck, Shen Yuanji rarely used such vulgar words, but he couldn't help it. Shen Chen didn't say anything. He picked up a chair and smashed it directly at Black Chicken's head. Everything happened too suddenly. No one realized how a person had popped out. Black Chicken's head was smashed open. Blood gushed out. This angered Black Chicken. He held his head and scolded. "Brothers! Skin this bastard alive!" Shen Yuanji, Su Yun, and Lin Gu, the three of them didn't get up. They were just a few punks. They really didn't care about them. What kind of person was Shen Chen? He was the king of duels in Yanjing City. He was very good at fighting. Every time they fought, when did Shen Chen lose? Not to mention a few people, even if there were more than 10 of them, as long as they weren't experts like Su Yun and the rest, they were nothing in front of Shen Chen. Black Chicken's brothers were quickly taken care of by Shen Chen. It was like a punch to make one kneel, a kick to send another flying. Absolute efficiency. In a blink of an eye, Black Chicken became a general without an army. He really didn't expect the opponent to be so good at fighting. He turned around and wanted to run. As he ran, he scolded. "Grandson, remember this. I'm with Brother Sangue. I won't let..." Bang! Black Chicken didn't finish his sentence. He directly bumped into the noodle shop owner's majestic body. No wonder he was called Fat Cattle. This body was fierce enough. "Fat Cattle, even you dare to block my way?" Black Chicken glared. "You're an egg." Shen Chen didn't care so much. He went forward and grabbed Black Chicken's arm. He directly locked him and threw him in front of the chopping board. Next to the chopping board was a hot pot for cooking noodles. It was the pot that Black Chicken spat on. Shen Chen directly stuffed Black Chicken's arm into it. This was a bubbling hot pot of soup. Black Chicken instantly let out a pig-like wail. Today, Black Chicken had met a fierce opponent. Even if you beat him to death, he didn't expect this person to be so ruthless. Why did he act like he didn't care about his life? This was a rhythm that was completely aimed at destroying him. Chapter 1266. Big Brother. I was wrong. I was wrong. I call you master. Master. Spare me. Black Chicken painfully begged for mercy. The feeling of being cooked was worse than going to hell. Shen Chen threw Black Chicken on the ground and coldly looked at Black Chicken's blood-soaked arm. "Do you want to wash your face again? The water temperature is just right, right? It won't burn you to death." Black Chicken trembled in pain. This guy was too cruel. He needed to go to the hospital immediately. This was a serious burn. If it was not treated in time, it would be crippled. How could he chop people in the future? "Brother, big brother. You're awesome. I can't compare to you. You're a big man and let me live." Black Chicken gritted his teeth and endured the pain. This was called a wise man knows better than to fight when the odds are against him. After he left, he would gather his men and tell Brother Sangue to chop this grandson up. He would definitely smash this ramen stall. Shen Chen had been mingling with such a group of people in Yanjing City since he was a child. He knew too many people like Heiji, so even if he used his toes, he could guess what Heiji was thinking right now. He stepped forward and picked Black Chicken up. "I think it's better to forget it. Leaving you alive is also a disaster. You must be thinking about how to take revenge on the ramen stall. Let's just cook you and feed you to the dogs today. People like you will definitely have a lot of criminal records. Even if someone reports your disappearance, the police will not do anything. If they know that you're dead, they might even hold a party to celebrate." Black Chicken's eyes were about to pop out. This guy was not joking with him. He was really going to pick him up and stuff his head into the big iron pot of ramen. His head was not his hand. Once he went in, he did not know whether he would die or not, but his eyes and ears would definitely be scalded blind and deaf. If he choked on a mouthful of water, his lungs would directly burn a hole. Thinking of this, Black Chicken desperately struggled and begged for mercy. He did not even feel the pain of his scalded arm. Unfortunately, the strength of his chicken claws could not push Shen Chen away at all. Shen Chen picked up Black Chicken's short buzz cut and really wanted to stuff his head into the boiling hot noodle pot. The owner of the ramen stall and his wife were a little scared. This would not kill anyone, right? If someone died because of 5,000 yuan, it would be a sin. They couldn't bear this responsibility. No, I can't do that. But what could they do? He definitely couldn't stop them. How could they listen to him? But if he didn't stop them, then, could it be that he really had to watch them kill someone? Xian Yuanji shuddered and said to Su Yun, "Brother Su Yun, when did you take in such a fierce character? That's enough. If someone really dies, the noodle shop owner will also be in trouble." Su Yun nodded and said lightly to Shen Chen, "All right, just teach him a lesson. There's no point in taking his cheap life." When Shen Chen heard Su Yun's words, he threw the black chicken to the ground again. If it wasn't for Su Yun's words, God knows if he would really throw the black chicken into the big pot and cook it. The noodle shop owner and his wife finally breathed a sigh of relief. They almost squatted on the ground. "Oh my God, this is too crazy, too crazy. What kind of people are these? One must know that this black chicken is Chen Songgui's man. In Zhonghui, no one dared to touch Chen Sangui. And this noodle shop owner who ate noodles on credit a few days ago dared to provoke him? I don't care if you're a black chicken or a wild chicken. I also don't care who you follow or what boss you are." Shen Chen pointed at the black chicken's nose and said, "Every injustice has its perpetrator and every debt has its debtor. If you want to find trouble, come find me. But if you dare to vent your anger on the noodle shop, the next time I catch you, it won't be as simple as scolding you. Do you believe that I dare to try fried black chicken feet?" The black chicken trembled from Shen Chen's words. This guy's eyes were terrifying and his expression was fierce. He didn't look like he was joking at all. How could he not be afraid? The key point was that Shen Chen wasn't joking. It wasn't that he didn't fry people's hands. When he was with Du Tian, what didn't he do? If it wasn't for his ruthlessness, would the people of Yanjing City give him face just because of his loyalty? Of course not. Loyalty was secondary. Ruthlessness was essential. I know. The black chicken swallowed a mouthful of saliva. "Get out of here," Shen Chen said coldly. The black chicken and his subordinates who were screaming in pain crawled out of the noodle shop. "Boss, I've caused you trouble." "I'm sorry." Xian Yuanji was a little helpless. He couldn't eat the noodles and definitely couldn't use the pot of soup. "But, thank you for your hospitality that day. I don't have the money, so I asked my brother to pay for it." After that, Xian Yuanji directly got into the car. The noodle shop owner didn't dare to accept the money, but he didn't have time to say anything. Xian Yuanji drove away. His wife looked at the stack of red banknotes on the table just now. "Old Nyo, you see, this boss is really too generous. 10,000 yuan. Long hair and short wit." The noodle shop owner shook his head helplessly. "This is called hush money. They don't want us to report what they did in our shop. We have to hide for a few days. Don't do business first. Wait for a few days. Otherwise, the black chicken will cause trouble for us because of Chan Sangui." After that, Boss Nyo still shook his head. He looked quite helpless. He didn't want such a thing to happen. If the black chicken came to cause trouble in the future, he would rather give the 10,000 yuan to the black chicken and let this matter pass. People who fought ruthlessly were from the underworld. He was just a small business. What did he have to play ruthlessly and fight with force? Hooligans only dared to risk their lives when their families were full. What about him? He had a wife and a child. What could he do to risk his life? If something were to happen to him, how could his wife and children live? Don't be so impulsive in the future. Su Yun smiled and said to Shen Chan in the car, "It's just a little gangster. You can just teach him a lesson." "Are you really going to kill him?" When Shen Chen heard Su Yun's words, he was quite excited because Su Yun said, "Do things in the future." This meant that he wanted him to follow him. "Brother Yun, I know these gangsters. I grew up with them. If you don't teach him a lesson, he won't remember. If I don't teach him a lesson, I will burn him to death and make him completely afraid. He will cause trouble for the noodle shop later." "That makes sense." Shen Yuanji nodded. "Young man, you have a bright future. If you follow my brother Su, you will definitely be a talent in the future." Shen Chen was very happy when he heard this. Fortunately, he brought this master back. This was called fate. "Brother, I haven't drunk for a few days." Shen Yuanji licked his lips. His wine gourd was also stolen on the train. He really hadn't drunk for a few days. "Shouldn't we find a place to drink tonight?" He was the wine sword immortal. The wine sword immortal hadn't drunk for a few days. His whole body felt like it was bitten by ants. "Of course." "Su Yun, Wei Yishan is treating tonight. Brother, you can drink to your heart's content." "That guy who calls himself Maitreya Buddha?" Shen Yuanji raised his eyebrows. "I heard that he is doing well in Zhonghui. The wine he prepared must be good, right?" Chapter 1267. At 6 o'clock in the evening, Su Yun arrived at Dragon City Manor as promised. Wei Yishan had been waiting there for a long time. Boss Wang of Dragon City Manor was also waiting at the door with Lord Wei. Wang Qiangbao had promised Lord Wei that he would give him enough face, so he had to keep his promise. Now that Wei Yishan's guests were here, if he didn't even welcome them when they went out, how could he give them face? "Mr. Su, you're finally here." Wei Yishan greeted them with a smile. Su Yun smiled. "I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, Lord Wei. I'll introduce you to a friend later, and you'll have to drink with him later." "That shouldn't be a problem, right?" Lord Wei's alcohol tolerance shouldn't be a problem. "That's for sure. If Lord Wei's alcohol tolerance is second in Golden Light City, no one would dare to say they're first." Wang Qiangbao was very friendly. Businessmen were all like this, especially when facing someone with a high status. Wang Qiangbao could definitely get close to them in a few sentences. "Mr. Su, I've heard about you. Not only are you young and promising, but you're also so talented. You're making it difficult for us to live. Look at Boss Wang's mouth, it must be honey again." Wei Yishan chuckled. "Then let's all go in and take a seat. Don't stand outside. How can we let our VIP guests stand outside? Please come in, please come in. Let's sit down first, drink tea, and slowly get to know each other." Shen Yuanji was really addicted to alcohol. He licked his lower lip and said in a muffled voice, "Let's just drink." "Forthright." Wang Qiangbao laughed and said, "Please come in. I'll get someone to serve you wine and tea. Lord Zhang has told me that you are his most important guests, which means you are my most important guests as well. If there's anything wrong with my hospitality, I hope you'll forgive me. Otherwise, if Lord Wei blames me, I won't be able to bear it. Ha ha ha." After exchanging some pleasantries, Su Yun and the rest arrived at the Dragon City Manor's gathering hall. The level of luxury of this place could not be measured with a 5-star rating. Even if the tycoons from Dubai came here, they would say that the level of luxury of this room was on the same level as their sailboat hotel. Even the chopsticks were a mix of gold and silver, with a large crystal embedded with diamonds hanging behind them. It's exquisite like a work of art. The tableware on the table was all embossed with golden dragon carvings. It looked so golden that you couldn't bear to use it. This place gave you the feeling of being in a royal palace. Dragon Capital Manor. What a great name, Dragon Capital. The room was filled with majestic dragon chi. Su Yun really liked this place. Even the mahogany seats were carved with floating dragons. It felt really good. "Please sit, please sit." Wei Yishan began to invite Su Yun to sit at the VIP table. However, Su Yun arranged for Shen Yuanji to sit there. Shen Yuanji was the least particular. He didn't care about the differences between the seats. Even if Su Yun asked him to sit at the seat, he wouldn't hesitate to squat down. Although Wei Yishan was a little unhappy with the middle-aged man sitting at the VIP table, he didn't dare to say anything when he saw that Su Yun was quite polite to him. Anyway, the table was so big. There were only 5 of them sitting there. There was no need to be so particular. Shen Chen habitually sat at the VIP table. Lin Gu didn't think too much and casually found a seat to sit. Only the 5 of them sat at the huge table, making it seem empty. However, this empty space was quickly filled up. A table full of all kinds of delicacies was served in less than 10 minutes. This grade was definitely not inferior to a 5-star hotel. Abalone sauce with camel's paw, first-grade plum blossom ginseng, chow-style frozen flower crab, medicinal fish pot. These weren't considered expensive. There were also heavenly 9 wings, blood swallow, and the rare South African oyster sauce abalone. Just these ingredients alone were quite expensive. Finally, a huge king crab was placed in the middle of the table. The crab's leg was as big as a child's arm. Aya, isn't this too sumptuous? Lin Gu really didn't expect Wei Yishan to set up such a big party. Wasn't this a little too exaggerated? Wei Yishan was very satisfied with this. Wang Chongbao gave him enough face. Such a sumptuous banquet was just to entertain the few of them. The dishes are good, but without good wine, no matter how good the food is, it's tasteless. Xian Yuanji wasn't satisfied with the wine. Just as he was complaining, the wine was served. It was a pure white porcelain bottle without any fancy prints. No one could tell what kind of wine it was. Wei Yishan laughed and said, "This wine is definitely good wine." Xian Yuanji didn't stand on ceremony at all. He took a bottle and opened it. He poured himself a cup and drank it without even smelling it. This was a person who could really drink. A sip could only be considered good. After drinking a cup of wine, Xian Yuanji's eyes lit up. Good wine. It's really good wine. It's the best. Even the internal wine at the state banquet back then wasn't as fragrant and strong as this wine. Refreshing. Wei Yishan, come, I'll give you a toast for this good wine of yours. Wei Yishan was startled. He wasn't used to being called directly by his name. For Su Yun's sake, he couldn't say anything. He could only ask Su Yun tentatively, "Director Su, this is Xian Yuanji." Su Yun smiled and introduced, "My brother." Wei Yishan's eyes almost popped out. When he turned back to look at that person, he had already finished the second cup. As he felt that using a wine cup wasn't good, he simply drank 2 mouthfuls from the bottle. Then, he shouted in satisfaction, "Refreshing!" The wine sword immortal who loved wine as much as his life, Xian Yuanji. Wei Yishan was really impressed by Su Yun. However, after thinking about it, there was nothing to be surprised about. Even the Empress could secretly protect someone. Was it rare for him to know the wine sword immortal? Of course not. I've heard a lot about you. Wei Yishan thought about it and decided not to drink today. If he drank with the wine sword immortal, he would definitely drink until he died. He hadn't even touched his chopsticks and the other party had already finished a bottle. How could he drink with such a person? Xian Yuanji was too lazy to care about Wei Yishan now that he had wine. People who didn't care about trifles were always like this. He got up and tossed a king crab leg to Su Yun. Then, he tossed one for himself. As he chewed, he said to them, "Come, come, come, I won't do it for you one by one. Eat by yourselves and get up by yourselves. If you can't reach it, stand up. If you can't pick it up, use your hands. When it comes to eating, you can't fake it. Otherwise, you will be the one who starves. Come, let's drink." Everyone hadn't even poured wine into their glasses and Xian Yuanji had already finished a bottle. Wei Yishan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. With the wine sword immortal here today, he was afraid that he would drink all the good wine in Dragon City Manor. Later, Wang Chongbao would be heartbroken and would definitely ask him for a sum of money. The few of them started eating and drinking. Wei Yishan couldn't find any topics to talk about. Fortunately, there was the wine sword immortal. He didn't even have to raise his glass. Everything was done by Xian Yuanji alone. Just when the atmosphere was so harmonious, the door of the hall was suddenly kicked open. Wang Chongbao's voice followed closely. "Boss Chen, today's matter is my fault. I apologize to you. Lord Zheng is entertaining guests inside. It's not appropriate for you to go in like this." What was there to be inappropriate about now? The door was already kicked open by his underlings. Chen Sangue was wearing a gray Adidas sportswear and a pair of colorful Mandarin duck shoes. He wasn't young anymore, but he dressed like a teenager. If you asked him where he bought the shoes, he would have to ask his brother, the Pen Spirit, to help him buy them in Hong Kong. The contact number was 330651305. The name of the Pen Spirit gave him an 85% discount and he even got an autograph. "There's only one hole of brotherhood." Boss Wang gave it to Lord Zhang Wei, who didn't have a reservation. "This is not giving me, Chen Sangue, any face." Chen Sangue sneered, spat and rubbed the floor with his shoes. "Is my face so worthless in Boss Wang's eyes?" Chapter 1268. Wei Yishan had already recognized Chan Sangue's voice. Other than Chan Sangue, there was no one else who dared to provoke him in Zhonghui. Although Chan Sangue had been in the limelight for the past few years, Wei Yishan didn't have any grudges with him. Even if he didn't give face to Wang Chongbao, the boss of Dragon City, Chan Sangue shouldn't disturb his table. "I was wondering who it was. So it's Brother Sangue," Wei Yishan said indifferently. "Since you're here, let's not be polite. Why don't we sit down and have a drink? I'll introduce you to a few friends. Give me some face." At this time, Chan Sangue had already rushed into the private room. Behind him were more than a dozen young men, all of whom looked fierce and vicious. Chan Sangue stepped forward and pulled out a chair. Without saying a word, he sat on it and slapped the table. "Buddha Wei, I respect you a lot, but if you don't treat me like a dish, then don't blame me for not giving you face. Relationships between people are built through maintenance, not trampling, don't you think so?" Wei Yishan sneered in his heart. "You're F***king here to trample on me. Protection? What protection? I've already had 3 rounds of drinks and you're here to pick a fight? Is this protection?" "Buddha, don't stare at me, Chan Sangue. I'm not the one trampling on you today, you're the one who's trampling on me." Chan Sangue was here to shed all pretense of cordiality. "I've already booked this place, but you just had to snatch it from me. If I don't come here to regain my face in front of my brothers, how am I going to survive in society in the future? What do you want?" Wei Yishan's patience was limited. He wasn't afraid of Chan Sangue. If Chan Sangue dared to provoke him, he would give him a slap and let him know who was the number one in Zhonghui. After 2 years of eating good food, he doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. This grandson really has the guts of a bear. Humph. No wonder he could get to where he is today. Unfortunately, he offended the wrong person today. Wang Chongbao saw that the situation wasn't right and quickly stepped out to mediate. "Aya, we're all friends. There's no need to shed all pretense of cordiality over such a small matter, right? If you're my friend, you should greet me first." Chen Sangue said, "Those who look down on me, Chen Sangue, I don't care if they are Buddha or ghost. I won't give face to anyone." "Okay, then let me see if you have the guts to flip this table for me today." Wei Yishan scolded angrily, "I gave you face, but you don't want it. I gave you face, and you really think you're something? It's not your turn to speak in Zhonghui." Chen Sangue immediately stood up. Come. Then let me see what other abilities you have. You don't even have any subordinates, yet you still call yourself Maitreya Buddha. Wei Yishan, stop F***king acting cool in front of me. Others may not know you but I do. You should be clear about your current situation and what you are, right? Wei Yishan's expression began to turn vicious. Don't hit someone in the face, and don't expose someone's shortcomings when scolding them. These were the most basic principles of life. Since Chan Sangui didn't know how to behave, then he shouldn't blame him for teaching him a lesson. Wang Chongbao suddenly raised his voice. Is that enough? I don't care who has more face in Zhonghui's society. But this Dragon City Manor is my, Wang Chongbao's, territory. Even if you're a dragon, you have to lie down. Even if you're a tiger, you have to lie down. If you cause trouble here, you're not giving me, Wang Chongbao, any face. We can't be friends in the future. These words were still biased towards Wei Yishan. The one who was causing trouble was Chan Sangui, and the one who had more people was also Chan Sangui. No matter how one looked at it, Chan Sangui was a little overbearing. Debao, are you going to wear the same pants as this old thing? Chan Sangui snorted. Then don't blame me for not reminding you. In the future, Zhonghui might not have the name Wei Yishan. Just as Chan Sangui was about to say something vicious, a shrill voice suddenly exploded in his ears. Boss! F***CKU. Chen Sangui turned around and slapped the back of this startled fellow's head. The one who was making a fuss was none other than Brother Black Chicken, who was scolded by Shen Chen in the noodle restaurant in the afternoon. At this moment, Brother Black Chicken's entire arm was wrapped in bandages. He was also one of Chan Sangui's many underlings. It's him. It's them. Brother Black Chicken pointed at Shen Chen, Su Yun, and the rest. They're the ones who made me look like this today. Chen Sangui frowned. He heard that Brother Black Chicken was beaten up when he went to collect protection fees, and it was quite ruthless. He didn't expect enemies to meet on a narrow road. The people who blocked Brother Black Chicken's way of making money were actually Wei Yishan's guests. Today's matter was going to be interesting. If there wasn't a winner, and the news spread tomorrow, Chan Sangui's face would depreciate. While this Buddhist Lord Wei's fate wasn't cast aside yet, he should really use Wei Yishan's last bit of fame to step on the top of Zhonghui. If everyone knew that he crippled Wei Yishan today, then in Zhonghui, who would dare to challenge him in the future? Absolutely no one. Interesting. Wei Yishan, it seems like the hatred between us isn't just a little bit. Chen Sangui sneered. Alright, since that's the case, let's settle it here today. Men. Wang Chongbao wasn't someone to be trifled with. If someone were to make a move in his dragon capital manner, how was he going to do business? This kind of thing was like that. If there was a first time, there would be a second time, and if there was a second time, there would be a third time. Therefore, Wang Chongbao was very stubborn. He definitely wouldn't let anything happen in the dragon capital manner. He couldn't lose his face. Wang Chongbao had quite a number of people with him. Within 2 minutes, more than 20 people had arrived. Some of them even had bulges in their waists. It was obvious that they had other things on them. Debao, if you dare to stop me today, then we'll call it quits. Chen Sangui sneered. Wang Chongbao didn't back down. If you didn't cause trouble in my dragon capital manor today, then we'll call it quits. Once we're out of here, you can do whatever you want. I don't care if you want to kill or burn. But in Dragon Capital Manor, don't you dare cause trouble for me. While they were still talking, Shen Chen couldn't sit still anymore. His brothers were here, and they couldn't even let him have a meal. Crack. Hearing the sound of a broken wine bottle, Shen Chen rushed forward with the broken wine bottle in his hand. His eyes were cold and his voice was vicious. I should have F***king cooked lunch for you this afternoon. The bottle of wine went straight for Black Chicken Bro's stomach. Black Chicken Bro was too excited and rushed forward, so he didn't have time to dodge. His vision turned black, and he felt a sharp pain in his stomach. The peaceful coexistence that Wang Chongbao had been trying so hard to maintain collapsed instantly. Chen Sangui's men came prepared. Wang Chongbao's men didn't have much time to react. They also picked up their weapons and prepared to fight. Originally, Chan Sangui was here to humiliate Wei Yishan. But now, it had become a duel between him and Wang Chongbao. It was a complete mess. Wei Yishan's head was about to explode. If he knew this was going to happen, he wouldn't have invited them to the Dragon Capital Manor in the first place. Xian Yuanji was sipping his wine while looking at the people in front of him. He turned to Wei Yishan and said, "Not bad. You know that I like to watch shows when I'm drinking. You still made it so lively. Not bad, not bad." Chapter 1269. Lin Gu looked at Shen Chen's ferocious appearance and couldn't help but say to Su Yun, "This kid can be molded, but he's a bit courageous." "This kind of person is the best to mold," Su Yun said. "If he doesn't even have the basic courage, then he's a mediocre person who can't be molded." "Then, are we just going to let him fight like this?" Lin Gu said. He knew that Su Yun definitely didn't want to cause more trouble and cause more trouble. Zhonghuai was no longer a place to stay for long. If Shen Chen really hurt someone, the city leaders who were already annoyed by Su Yun would definitely use this matter to teach Su Yun a lesson. After all, in everyone's eyes, Shen Chen was Su Yun's subordinate. Su Yun was more assured. Shen Chen has been in Yanjing Circle since he was young. He knows where he can't kill anyone. Don't worry, it won't be a big problem. Let him do what he wants. At most, he'll just ruin this luxurious private room. Boss Wong will suffer. He'll definitely feel the pain. As soon as Su Yun's voice fell, someone was directly thrown to the wall by Shen Chen. With a bang, a famous contemporary landscape painting on the wall was smashed down. Although it wasn't a treasure worth millions or tens of millions, this painting was still worth tens of thousands. Oh my God! Wang Chongbao was speechless. The situation was completely out of control, but Wei Yishan, who caused this incident, was still sitting in his seat like Mount Tai, as if everything had nothing to do with him. What the hell is this? Wang Chongbao was more or less asking for trouble. If he knew this would happen, he wouldn't have done this. The gains didn't make up for the losses. Chen Sangue was too careless. He thought that no one would dare to provoke him, and he didn't expect Wang Chongbao to go against him. As soon as Wang Chongbao's people joined the battle, a fierce person appeared on the other side, and the battle ended in just 10 minutes. More than half of the fellows around him, who had always been good at fighting, needed someone to help them stand up. Good. 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 Chen Sangue said 3 words in a row. Since you guys are so brave, then it's easy. Today, Dragon Capital Manor, you all just wait for me. If I, Chen Sangue, don't flatten this place, tomorrow, I'll get out of Zhonghuai. After that, Chen Sangue turned around and wanted to leave. But how could Shen Chen let him leave? Shen Chen directly blocked the door and said, "There's no need for tomorrow. You can leave today. Why don't you stay for a drink? Get out of my way." Chen Sangue was indeed Chen Sangue. He had courage and magnanimity. Even though his own men were all dead, he still retained his aura. Unfortunately, Shen Chen didn't buy it. Chen Sangue's situation was too similar to Du Tian's. The only difference between them was that Chen Sangue didn't have someone like Shen Chen around him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be stopped in the private room today. Chen Sangue's cursing was met with a kick from Shen Chen. "Chen test, st, teat. Chen Sangue, let's have a drink." Wei Yishan sneered. Suddenly, Lord Wei, who hadn't made a move yet, grabbed Chen Sangue's neck and pressed his head on the table. Before Chen Sangue could react, a bottle was inserted into his mouth, and the mouth of the bottle was pressed against his throat. Wei Yishan's deep throat almost killed Chen Sangue. Chen Sangue didn't even have time to think before mouthfuls of spicy white wine were poured into his throat. After gulping down the entire bottle of wine, Chen Sangue choked on a few mouthfuls of wine. Since it was a drink, how could one bottle be enough? Wei Yishan directly stuffed another bottle into Chen Sangue's mouth. Xian Yuanji shook his head. This was such a waste of good wine. It was better to give him some horse urine. What a waste of good wine. People who didn't love wine didn't know how to cherish wine. If it was his wine, he would have fallen out with Wei Yishan. However, Wang Chongbao didn't fall out with Wei Yishan. This was a grudge between Wei Yishan and Chen Sangue. As long as Wei Yishan made a move, the resentment wouldn't be transferred to Wang Qiangbao. Everything he did today was to protect the reputation of Dragon City Manor. He definitely didn't mean to make things difficult for Chan Sangui. The one who really wanted to make things difficult for him was Wei Yishan and Lord Wei. In the end, the resentment from today's matter had to be settled between the two of them. After drinking 2 bottles of wine, Chan Sangui felt like dying. This old man really dared to make things difficult for him. Chan Sangui thought that he would stop, but he didn't expect to be stuffed into his mouth again. He was going to drink him to death. Excessive alcohol consumption will cause the central nervous system to be stimulated and then inhibited. Heavy intoxication can cause respiratory and heartbeat depression and death. Su Yun said calmly. Wei Yishan was indeed ruthless. He didn't make a move, but once he did, he made a move to kill. It wasn't easy to investigate alcohol poisoning. As long as there was no evidence, no one could say that Wei Yishan did anything. It wasn't impossible for him to drink himself to death. Nowadays, there were definitely many people who were addicted to drinking a mouthful of wine every day. Moreover, there were studies that showed that more than half of the people who drank were in subhealth or below. Raising a glass of wine could express all kinds of emotions. There was no ceremony without wine, no joy without wine, no ceremony without wine, and no banquet without wine. In short, the lives of Huaxia people couldn't live without wine. Therefore, there were already statistics that showed that a few years ago, there were hundreds of thousands of people who died of alcohol poisoning in Huaxia every year. Today, whether he was Chan Sangui or not, it was not a big deal. Anyway, there were many people who died from drinking in Huaxia. 300 to 400 people died from drinking in a day. After the 3rd bottle of wine was finished, Wei Yishan took out the 4th bottle. Chen Sangui finally realized his fear. He understood that Wei Yishan wasn't messing with him. He wanted his life. But no matter how he struggled, he couldn't break free from Wei Yishan's strong hands. He was pressed firmly onto the table. Lord Zheng. Lord Zheng. I was wrong. Please give me a way out. Cough, cough, cough. Lord Zheng. Chen Songui's heart was instantly corroded by fear. Lord Zheng. I beg you, I know I was wrong. Please don't mind me. Before he could say the word wrong, Chan Sangui stuffed him with another bottle of wine. Although this scene was not bloody, it made people feel more and more terrified the more they looked at it. Su Yun could only use one word to describe Wei Yishan. Ruthless. This was Wei Yishan's nature. Maybe he thought about restraining himself before, but when he was really forced into a situation where he had no choice, he would still be ruthless. Just like this, the audience quietly watched Wei Yishan pour bottle after bottle of wine into Chen Songui's mouth. In the end, Chen Songui's stomach was bulging. His eyes were rolling back. It seemed that he didn't even have a breath. But even so, Wei Yishan still poured a whole bottle of wine into Chen Songui's mouth. 11 bottles of white wine. And it was poured in a short 5 minutes. Who wouldn't die? What was the difference between this and directly taking a needle and injecting alcohol into the stomach? As long as it was a person, they couldn't withstand this kind of torture. Chen Sangui was almost out of breath. Wei Yishan threw him under the table and sneered, "Boss Chen, since you can't drink, why did you drink so much?" Chapter 1270. Chen Sangui had come aggressively with his men, but in the end, he had ended up in such a state. He could only blame himself for messing with the wrong person. If it was a month ago, Wei Yishan would have taught Chen Sangui a lesson even if Chen Sangui came to cause trouble for Wei Yishan. After all, it was better to have more friends than more enemies. It would be easier to talk when they met in the future. But now Wei Yishan didn't have time to think about these things. Whoever stood in his way would die. He was now the one who had nothing to lose and was not afraid of those who wore boots. Chen Songui's subordinates, from his closest confidants to people like Brother Black Chicken who liked to stick close to his face for glory, were all dumbfounded. This group of people was not inexperienced. They had seen all kinds of fighting and killing, blood and flesh flying everywhere. Even if they saw someone having an arm or a leg chopped off in front of them, they would definitely not bat an eyelid. But now they saw Chan Sang-gue being drunk to death by 11 bottles of white wine. It was really unimaginable. Now Chen Songgue's stomach and lungs were full of spicy white wine. He was lying on the ground like a dead dog. If someone stepped on his stomach, the wine would definitely gush out of his ears, nose, and mouth. Death wasn't scary. What was scary was the way to die. Shooting to death, hacking to death, throwing people from upstairs, getting hit by cars, drowning, all kinds of killing methods were mentioned in movies about gangsters, and they had all heard of them. But they had never heard of being drunk to death. It was 100 times more painful than being drowned. Chen Sang-gue was drowned by Wei Yishan with wine. Is there anyone else who wants another drink? Wei Yishan said lightly, Boss Wong of Dragon City doesn't lack wine. Choose what you want to drink. Everyone present felt their legs and stomachs trembling. Was Lord Wei going to start a massacre? But thinking about it carefully, they were participants in today's incident. Their boss was dead, so Lord Wei wouldn't feel sorry for them. The rest depended on their own choices. If they wanted to live, they had to admit their mistakes. Wei Yishan wouldn't take it seriously. If they wanted to die, they would definitely die more miserably than Chen Sang-gue. Lord Zheng, I know I was wrong. I hope Lord Zheng can spare me. Some people couldn't take it anymore. We're just trying to make a living. If Lord Zheng needs anything in the future, just say the word and we'll be at your beck and call. Wei Yishan snorted disdainfully. What do I, Wei Yishan, need you for? Get the F***ck out of here. Don't let me see you in Golden Light City again. Yes, yes. The group of people scrambled to answer. Right now, the most important thing was to survive. How did Chen Sang-gue die? Before the group of people left, Wei Yishan said indifferently, Do you all have eyes? Did you see it clearly enough? The crowd fell into silence once again. Was Wei Yishan threatening them? Didn't he want them to get lost? Why was he threatening them again? Of course, not everyone was a fool. There were also smart people who understood the meaning behind Wei Yishan's words. Lord Zheng, we all saw it clearly. Chen Sang-gue couldn't hold his liquor, but he was addicted to alcohol. Alcohol poisoning isn't something that can be controlled by others. He only has himself to blame for drinking so much today. It's all because of his own greed for alcohol. Some smart people were enlightened. The others also came to a realization. They all nodded their heads like rattledrums. Yes, 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 yes. It's all because of his own greed for alcohol. He drank too much. The speed at which they changed their minds was absolutely amazing. This was human nature. An hour ago, they could be high-spirited beside Chen Sang-gue, shouting that they must trample Wei Yishan's face under their feet. But with Chen Sang-gue's death, everything had undergone a drastic change. No one would be loyal to a dead person. After all, they weren't true brothers. They were just people who used each other. Chen Sang-gue used them to consolidate his position, and they used Chen Sang-gue to improve their strength. Once there was no benefit for people in this kind of relationship, they would quickly collapse. Not to mention that now there was no benefit relationship. Chen Sang-gue even lost his life. Boss Wang, I've troubled you today. Wei Yishan said lightly. No matter how much loss there is, it's all on me. However, regarding Chen Sang-gue's matter, I'll have to trouble you to deal with it. What could Wang Chongbao say? He couldn't get away from it. He was also involved. Although he didn't kill Chen Sang-gue, he died in his restaurant after all. His people did participate in the fight. Now, this matter could only be done according to Wei Yishan's instructions. He could only send Chen Sang-gue to the hospital. He knew that there was no way to save Chen Sang-gue if he was sent there, but he still had to go. It was all to get an explanation for alcohol poisoning. He also had to use his connections with the police. Although Chen Sang-gue did die from alcohol poisoning, no one would be stupid enough to believe that someone would drink so much alcohol and drink himself to death. He still needed to do some work. Sigh, I'm really asking for trouble. Wang Chongbao had no choice even if he didn't want to do it. Wei Yishan spoke before him, so he couldn't refuse. Moreover, Wang Chongbao didn't dare to refuse in the current situation. The fighting power of more than 20 of his brothers who could fight was almost the same as Shen Chen's fighting power. If Shen Chen arranged 2 more people, how could he fight against them? Wei Yishan was also a master of the older generation. Wang Chongbao had heard a little about him. Although he hadn't fought for a long time, if he really wanted to move his muscles and bones, Wang Chongbao couldn't control himself. Lord Zheng, don't worry. I'll try my best to think of a way. Wang Chongbao nodded and said, You guys, enjoy. After the chaos, in the huge and luxurious hall, although a few chairs and paintings were broken, the dining table didn't move at all. Su Yun smiled slightly, picked up the wine glass, and said indifferently, Lord Zheng Wei, based on your strength, we'll definitely be friends. Although what happened today can't threaten you, after all, there are too many people. Why don't you come with me to Shenzhen to relax? Wei Yishan was a little puzzled as to why Su Yun changed the topic so quickly, but he instantly understood. Outside the big window on the east side of the hall, there was a vague shadow. Although it was blocked by thick curtains, it still couldn't escape their eyes. If I refuse Manager Su's invitation, wouldn't it be shameless? Ha ha ha, I'm also preparing to go to Shenzhen. I have an old aunt in Shenzhen. Wei Yishan immediately followed up. The two of them chatted for a while, and the vague shadow disappeared. Lin Gu glanced at Su Yun, as if asking if he wanted to go with them. Su Yun gently shook his head, indicating that there was no need. Xian Yuanji also drank enough. He curled his lips towards the big window on the east side and asked, Who did you offend? Just a little trouble. Su Yun smiled, It's not a big deal. Well, young people should learn to solve small problems by themselves. Xian Yuanji nodded. Since Su Yun didn't say much, he didn't ask any more. Come on, the annoying wall ear is gone. Let's drink to our heart's content. Chapter 1271. Wei Yishan knew that the 12 heavenly stars must have been watching him, but he wanted the 12 heavenly stars to know everything. Tonight would definitely not be lonely, and the 12 heavenly stars would definitely come to talk to him. What surprised Wei Yishan was Su Yun. Su Yun was too awesome. Even the wine sword immortal, Xian Yuanji, called him brother. At this time, Xian Yuanji's appearance made Wei Yishan feel more at ease. This was an expert at the 3rd level of the Earth Profound Realm. With such an expert helping him, how could he not feel at ease? Of course, he felt at ease. There was someone backing him up. It seemed that Zhua Lengyue's suggestion was correct. Wei Yishan didn't make the wrong choice. Choosing Su Yun was his last chance, and Su Yun was also his last straw. If he couldn't grab hold of Su Yun, he knew very well what the consequences would be. Not to mention that the Empress wouldn't let him off easily, he might not even be able to pass the 12 heavenly stars. After eating and drinking to his heart's content, Wang Chongbao didn't even take a single cent. It wasn't that he didn't want to earn this money, but he felt that this money was too hot. Even Chan Sangue dared to kill Buddha Wei in front of everyone. Who wouldn't dare to touch? Wang Chongbao was a shrewd person. He knew what to do. As long as he gave Wei Yishan enough face, he would be a smiling Maitreya Buddha. If he didn't give him face, he would be even more terrifying than the Azura Demon King in the 18th level of Hell. He could take this money, but would he feel comfortable spending it? Anyway, he didn't care about the cost of 1 or 2 tables of food. Not to mention this meal, even if Wei Yishan really came to his place every day, he wouldn't mind entertaining him for free every day. Didn't Wang Chongbao also want this face? Everyone was well aware of this, so Wei Yishan didn't have to give the money to Wang Chongbao. He didn't know if he would be able to come back after leaving Zhonghuai. Finally, he threw a sentence to Wang Chongbao. Then we'll count it together next time. Wang Chongbao nodded repeatedly. Yes, yes, next time, next time. He didn't know if there would be a next time, but even if there was, he would still drag it out for the next time. He wouldn't accept hot money, no matter how much it was. Wei Yishan first watched Su Yun and the others leave before he dizzily sat in the car. He took a deep breath. He had drunk a little too much and his mind was a little muddled. However, when he flipped through the phone book, he couldn't find anyone who would drive him if he shouted at the top of his lungs. Should he call for a designated driver? F***CK. How embarrassing would that be? That was something only ordinary people would do. They couldn't afford to hire a chauffeur, and they didn't have any underlings to help them. Moreover, they didn't have a strong relationship and were afraid of being investigated for drunk driving. Only people who were afraid of being investigated would hire a designated driver. For someone of his status, a chauffeur and underlings were standard equipment. Even if he wanted to drive, it was because he was happy and wanted to drive. You're not even afraid of drunk driving. What a strong connection. The captains in the traffic police brigade were all friends. They had drunk together, washed their feet together, and two of them had even gone to the tropical rainforest bath center to seek special services together. How could their relationship not be strong? Very hard. Wei Yishan had indeed drunk too much. His thoughts weren't calm at all. He drove arrogantly on the road. Fortunately, the local traffic police were more lazy and weren't as hard-working as the imperial capital. If there weren't clear orders from above, they wouldn't have the time to catch drunk drivers at night. What was the point of catching drunk drivers? The fine wasn't their own money, and it was a job that offended people. The local people were all inextricably linked. If you offended someone, it could be that person's relationship. This was a very troublesome matter. It wasn't easy to deal with. Those who were arrested and locked up for half a year just because they drank a little were all at the level of a clown. Only those who didn't have a strong enough relationship and were self-righteous would be locked up in the station. Of course, it couldn't be ruled out that there were powerful people among the celebrities. A certain Xiao Song and a certain Jiwen were both arrested for drunk driving. Xiao Song was arrested for drunk driving for half a year, but Jiwen wasn't. Jiwen even pointed his middle finger at the traffic police. His face was as red as a monkey's butt. Now, Wei Yishan's face was as red as Jiwen's face. No, it wasn't as red as a monkey's butt. If the traffic police were to check on him, he would definitely dare to point at the traffic police's nose and scold, F***CKU, old people, find me. Let's see if you dare to lock me up. Unfortunately, Wei Yishan's wish didn't come true. He didn't meet a single traffic police officer. After returning home in a daze, Wei Yishan threw his wallet and car keys on the table and fell onto the sofa. He drank too much. He really drank too much. His head was a little muddled, his tongue was a little tight, and his throat was a little dry. If it was in the past, someone would have already served him honey water. But now, the villa was empty. If Wei Yishan wanted to drink water, he had to get up and find it himself. At this moment, a bottle of mineral water was thrown at Wei Yishan's chest. Wei Yishan wasn't surprised by this sudden situation. It wasn't strange at all that the people from the 12 heavenly stars would be waiting for him here. It was too normal. If he didn't see the people from the 12 heavenly stars when he returned home today, that would be strange. Thanks. Wei Yishan twisted open the bottle cap and drank half the bottle in one breath. I've done as you asked, but I'll need time to find out what you want to know. Buddha Wei is indeed Buddha Wei. You can do what you want to do immediately. The one who spoke was Shueishing. He smiled and said, in that case, I won't say anything more. Buddha Wei, we believe in you. If you really believed in me, you wouldn't have followed me. Wei Yishan sneered. You better not be stupid. Do you think that Su Yun and the rest wouldn't be able to detect you if even I noticed that you were following me? Shueishing was stunned. Buddha Wei, I'll leave it to you. Are you really going to keep interfering with me like this? Wei Yishan asked again. Shueishing didn't say anything and quickly left. Only Wei Yishan was left in the empty room. Wei Yishan endured his confusion and threw a few clothes into the trunk of the car. He would be going to Shenzhen with Su Yun and the rest tomorrow. He was afraid that he wouldn't have time to prepare. The 12 heavenly stars were destined to be sleepless tonight. Wei Yishan had come into contact with Su Yun, but the problem now was that they might have been exposed. If they continued to follow, they might be discovered. If they didn't follow, they wouldn't be able to completely trust Wei Yishan. This was a difficult decision to make. Everyone's eyes were fixed on Ares. He was the commander-in-chief of this mission. He had to have the ability to stand up at the critical moment. No matter what the final result was, it had to do with the commander. At this time, no one would compete with him for the limelight. If something went wrong, all the responsibility would be on his shoulders. Ares also knew that no one would say anything at this time. He could only make the decision for himself. In the end, Ares gritted his teeth and said, "Follow them. We have to be as careful as possible. Stay out of their sight as much as possible. Contact Wei Yishan more. We can't guarantee that we will believe everything he says. Therefore, we have to use our own eyes to see what's going on. Otherwise, we might be played in the palm of their hands." Chapter 1272. After a long day of traveling, Su Yun and the others finally returned to Shenzhen before the sky turned dark. It was a lively day in Shenzhen. A film festival had just ended, and many famous people from the country were gathered there. Su Yun was the #1 actor in the film industry in Huaxia. Many people sneered at him when he didn't show up at this event. They said that he worshipped foreign things and didn't care about the film festival at all. They said that he didn't deserve to be the leader of the film industry in Huaxia. Some people even turned their attention to Sky Entertainment Group. They wanted to use public opinion to create a bad impression of Sky Entertainment Group and raise their own status. However, Su Yun didn't know about any of this. He didn't have the time to pay attention to these entertainment reports. Ruan Qingshuang and Zhuo Meiyan knew that if Su Yun disappeared and took Lin Gu away, it meant that he had something important to do. Therefore, they didn't use these small things to distract him. On the second day after the film festival ended, Su Yun and Lin Gu brought 2 strangers to Shenzhen in a grandiose manner. Zhuo Meiyan and the others hadn't left yet. They were all at Xing Kai Hotel. The people under Sky Entertainment Group who weren't in a hurry to go to work hadn't left yet either. Xing Kai Hotel was quite lively. Su Yun's appearance really caught Zhuo Meiyan off guard. If she didn't know Su Yun so well, she definitely would have asked him what Sky Entertainment Group was in his heart. However, Zhuo Meiyan knew Su Yun too well. She knew that Su Yun trusted her and Ruan Qingshuang. That was why he was so confident in leaving Sky Entertainment Group to them. If he had to blame someone, he could only blame Su Yun's luck for being able to meet women like them who didn't care about him. Who asked Su Yunyen to be so lucky? Wasn't Zhuo Meiyan doing all of this out of her own free will? What else was there to say? When Su Yun arrived in Shenzhen, everyone told him about this. He couldn't do anything. If he wasn't in Zhonghua, or if he had solved this problem a day earlier, he would have arrived in time without the trouble of the 12 heavenly stars. He definitely didn't look down on Huaxia filmmakers. On the contrary, he respected Huaxia filmmakers and supported Huaxia's film festival 100%. Otherwise, why would he create Hollywood? Zhang Taisui's last wish was something Su Yun would definitely pursue. This was something that couldn't be changed. "I'll be your scapegoat at the press conference tomorrow." Zhuo Meiyan glanced at Su Yun. "Do you want to personally go to the press conference and say some high-sounding words?" "If I go, can you guarantee that I won't be hit by eggs?" Su Yun laughed bitterly. Speaking of which, it didn't feel good to be a public figure. He had to consider all kinds of outcomes before doing anything. If he wasn't careful, even if it was unintentional, he would be slandered. Zhuo Meiyan shook her head. "I can't guarantee that. Maybe someone will really dare to do this to create news. Then I'll go. I can't let you take the risk of being hit by eggs for me." Su Yun joked. Zhuo Meiyan snorted. "All right, go do your thing. I can still handle this kind of small matter. I don't believe that anyone will dare to touch me. Unless they're tired of living. It's fine. I'm here." Ruan Qingxuang patted Zhuo Meiyan's shoulder comfortingly. Su Yun thought to himself. It seemed that Zhuo Meiyan had been troubled by many things recently. Fortunately, Ruan Qingxuang was there to help her. Otherwise, he would feel even more guilty. Daddy, when are you going to introduce him to us? Guagua had grown up. She knew that when they were talking about serious matters, she should stand quietly on the side. Only when the serious topic was over, she could interrupt. Su Yun almost forgot that Shen Chen was also there. Oh right. Let me introduce him to you. This is Shen Chen. He's one of us. If you need anything, just tell him. He's a revolutionary brick. He'll go wherever you need him. With Su Yun's words, everyone knew what he meant. A newcomer, someone who could be trusted. And then go to Qingdao in the future. The film and television plaza base is lacking manpower. Ruan Qingxuang said. Go there and do some work. Shen Chen was elated when he heard that. Firstly, Big Brother Yun had said that he was one of them. Secondly, he could really enter Sky Entertainment Corporation and work there. This was definitely not a small matter for him. It was something that could change his destiny. This was the first serious matter in Shen Chen's life. From today onwards, he would completely say goodbye to his identity as a gangster in Yanjing City. Yes. Shen Chen bowed deeply. Ruan Qingxuang was shocked. Meiyan, can you tell who this is? Su Yun smiled and pointed at Wei Yishan as he spoke to Zhuo Meiyan. Zhuo Meiyan rolled her eyes. Wei Yishan, you even dared to kidnap my sister Ruan and my goddaughter in Shenzhen. Now you even dare to come here. If it weren't for the fact that you and Su Yun went to the hotel. This cold snort was full of disdain for Wei Yishan. What a white-lipped bamboo snake. Although Wei Yishan didn't say anything, he was a bit unhappy in his heart. Ruan Qingxuang and Guagua had been thinking about this matter ever since they saw Wei Yishan and Su Yun go to the hotel. Chou Yun had been clenching her fists. As long as Wei Yishan did something wrong, she promised not to be merciful. For this person who had once provoked them on Guqin Island and touched Su Yun's bottom line. Why would he stand together with Su Yun now? Everyone was very suspicious. However, everyone believed that since Su Yun did this, he had his reasons. Therefore, they kept their doubts in their hearts and didn't say anything. Now, Wei Yishan had no way out. He could only brace himself and stand up. Everyone, we did have a small misunderstanding before. However, I think that since it's over, let it be. The fact that I can stand here with Su Yun shows my sincerity. I sincerely want to be friends with everyone. Dad, I don't like this person. I'm going to sleep first. Guagua left after saying that to Wei Yishan. A child was, after all, a child. It was already very good for her to be able to do what Guagua did. If it was an ordinary child, how could they be as calm as Guagua when they saw someone who had once kidnapped them? Guagua's behavior was already very magnanimous. Then we'll go up too. Ruan Qingxuang and Chou Yun followed Guagua upstairs. Su Yun nodded and turned to Wei Yishan. Buddha Wei, our cooperation is one thing. However, since they don't like you, I hope you can abide by our rules here. Wei Yishan nodded and said nothing. Yi Fala, who had been silent all this time, sneered. I've heard of the Maitreya Buddha in Zhonghui. However, I didn't expect him to be a despicable person who would lay his hands on weak women and children. That sentence was like a slap to Wei Yishan's face. This is called being sanctimonious. On the surface, he's more moral than anyone else. However, behind his back, he's doing despicable things. Zhuo Meiyan added another stab. Wei Yishan was at a loss for words. Ji Bei's white lips bamboo green and Xinjiang's black widow's mouths were too venomous. They didn't give him any face at all. Wei Yishan really wanted to find a hole to hide in. Buddha Wei was indeed a bit of a jerk in the past. However, this time, he sincerely wants to cooperate with me. Su Yun smiled. Don't be so sharp-tongued. He's already so old. How can he hide his face when you say that? Zuomeyen rolled her eyes and turned to go upstairs. She said softly, "Stuff it in his pants. He's too ashamed to see anyone anyway." That was vicious. Yes, if he can't bend his back, then he'll buy more clothes. Then buy more underwear in the future. Zhu Yeqing also turned to leave sarcastically. Although Su Yun wanted to laugh, he still looked at Wei Yishan sympathetically. "Buddha Wei, don't take it to heart. They just like to joke." Chapter 1273. The 12 heavenly stars also followed them to Shenjiang. Their mood was not as relaxed this time. Not only could they not be detected, but they also wanted to control everything. This was definitely an extremely difficult task. They had to make adjustments. They had to think of a better way to solve the problem they were facing now. They could give up on following Wei Yishan and only need to maintain contact. However, they could not relax on Su Yun's side. After all, it was still unknown whether Wei Yishan would be able to get the information out of Su Yun. "We have to arrange for the most meticulous person to monitor Su Yun," Aries said seriously. "Who do you think is the most suitable person to do this?" The most meticulous person. Everyone's eyes involuntarily fell on the female star. She was probably the most suitable person for this task. She was the only female among the 12 heavenly stars. Moreover, she was of mixed Chinese and European descent. She was definitely not as conspicuous as the burly Americans. Most importantly, she was definitely the most meticulous perfectionist among the 12 heavenly stars. She might not care so much about the team's matters, but if it was her own matter, she would definitely not allow any mistakes. Therefore, she was probably the most suitable person to do this kind of thing. "Don't look at me. I'm not interested in this kind of thing." The female star did not give Aries a chance to speak. "Su Yun is a dangerous person. You all know this. I'm afraid it's not suitable for a girl like me to do this kind of solo tracking. There are so many men here. Can't any of you step forward? You actually expect a little girl like me to turn the tide? Humph. Don't make me look down on you." "That's right." Lion Star's eyes widened. "How can a girl do this? Ellie is the only girl among us. How can Ellie be the one to do such a dangerous thing?" "Green, since you said so, I'll leave this matter to you." Aries was a little angry. At this time, as the leader of the team, if he could not persuade a subordinate to do something, it would be quite frustrating. Among the 12 heavenly stars he faced, the most difficult one to persuade and the one he could not use his power to pressure was the female star, Ellie. Everyone knew that Douglas was Ellie's godfather. Of course, he wasn't an illegitimate godfather. However, it was precisely because he was a legitimate godfather that this gave Aries a headache. Leo didn't fall for Aries' trick. "Peter, you're our captain and our commander. I'm afraid that you'll have to personally step in to resolve this matter. The officer trusts you the most. I'm afraid you're the only one who can do this. Sa Shou needs to be saved for last." Aries was a little impatient. If he was in Huaxia, saying this would definitely be considered a joke. But when it came from the mouth of the CIA, it was definitely not a joke. He was the commander-in-chief. If he died at the beginning, then the mission would be half finished. This logic was very simple. As long as one had a brain problem, they would be able to figure it out. If Ellie doesn't do this, I'm afraid there won't be anyone suitable. The Mastery Star said calmly, "Let's settle for the next best thing. Pisces is the only Huaxia descendant among us. He should be even more inconspicuous among the Huaxia crowd. You're all thinking too much." Pisces didn't want to do something so dangerous. He didn't wait for the Mastery Star to finish his sentence and interrupted him. "Shenjiang is definitely an international metropolis. It's not some small city in Huaxia. People will take a second look when they see a foreigner. Go walk around the Bund. There are a lot of foreigners in Huaxia." The Mastery Star was stunned. "So you're saying that if we integrate into Shenjiang, we'll be very ordinary?" "Yes. We can go out and try. Won't we know then?" Pisces said. There were indeed a lot of foreigners in Shenzhen. Some came to Huaxia to do business, while others came to Huaxia to slack off. They felt that the girls in Huaxia were easy to fool, the people in Huaxia were easy to fool, and the money in Huaxia was easy to fool. The era where Huaxia people would look up to foreigners was long over, especially in first-tier cities. If a foreigner came to Huaxia, 8 out of 10 of them wouldn't be able to survive in their own country. The remaining 2 outstanding ones wouldn't wander around the streets for no reason. Therefore, the people of Shenzhen did not care about foreigners. In the eyes of the people of Shenzhen, only rural people would look at foreigners as if they were rare animals. They would stupidly treat it as an honor to talk to foreigners. At the same time, in the eyes of some Shenzhen people, other than themselves, everyone else was villagers. In their eyes, Yanjing was the biggest village in Huaxia. This was the reason why Shenzhen was better than other cities. They were good, and they had the right to be good because they lived in Shenzhen, an international city. In the end, Aries decided to let everyone walk around Shenzhen. The final answer was that they were still the center of attention. Perhaps it wasn't just because they were foreigners, but more importantly, their physiques were too strong. One look and anyone could tell that they weren't ordinary people. In the face of such a result, Ellie had no choice but to make her own sacrifice. If that's the case, then leave the task of following Su Yun to me. But I have a condition, Pete. You have to agree to it. Aries knew that she had relented. He had to agree to any condition. Say it, say it. As long as I can do it, I'll agree to anything. You've worked hard on this mission. When we go back, I'll definitely apply for the biggest credit for you. Do I need you to apply for it? Ellie pouted unhappily. She raised her head and said, "Since you asked me to do this, I'll arrange it however I like. Don't interfere in the name of the Commander-in-Chief. If you don't agree, then I won't do it. I don't like others interfering in my work." Aries was stunned. He swallowed his saliva and said, "Okay. I'll do whatever you say. As for following Su Yun, you can arrange it yourself. I won't give you any tasks." "That's good." Ellie nodded. "Contact Wei Yishan and ask him to inform us of Su Yun's current location. Leave the rest to me." Wei Yishan had just laid down in his room, feeling wronged. He had no choice but to lower his head when a call from the 12 heavenly stars came. He was shocked and quickly went to the bathroom to answer the call. "Is it convenient to talk now?" "It's convenient." Wei Yishan didn't beat around the bush. "I'll tell you one more time. I need time to do what you want me to do. I need time. Don't rush me so much." "I'm not rushing you. I just need you to confirm Su Yun's schedule." Wei Yishan said unhappily, "Are you crazy? It's already so late. He must be sleeping. What else can he do? I don't believe that you don't even know where the hotel we're at is." "Of course." Aries Peter suppressed his anger. "Shenzhen is a city that never sleeps. How do you know where Su Yun will go at night? I trust you and hope that you can do something worthy of my trust." Wei Yishan was speechless. "But he's at the hotel now. How about this? I won't sleep tonight. I'll listen to his voice. If he goes out, I'll inform you immediately." "It's good that you understand." Aries was very satisfied with Wei Yishan's answer. Chapter 1274. Wei Yishan's mind was in a mess. What the hell was going on? "Inform your sister." "I've been driving for a whole day. I'm so sleepy that I can't open my eyes." But lying on the bed, Wei Yishan tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. His heart felt like it was on fire, and it was very uncomfortable. After a while, Wei Yishan sat up on the bed. Something was wrong. Why did the 12 heavenly stars know Su Yun's whereabouts? Obviously, they wanted to follow Su Yun. Otherwise, why would they know his whereabouts? This group of foreigners was really scheming. They were using him and suspecting him at the same time. Not only did they let him fish for information, but they also wanted him to follow Su Yun. Originally, Wei Yishan didn't want to get out of bed. But now that he thought about it, he really had to tell Su Yun about this. He didn't want him to be targeted by the 12 heavenly stars and let it slip. If the 12 heavenly stars were to find out that he and Su Yun were in cahoots, then the 12 heavenly stars would definitely take his life without any hesitation. Thinking of this, Wei Yishan's head buzzed, and he immediately became alert. This matter really couldn't be taken lightly. No. This matter had to be done immediately. The American elder called him just now, which meant that they didn't know the situation here. They definitely wouldn't dare to follow him to Shinkai Hotel. Whether it was now or in the future, Shinkai would be safe. Wei Yishan got out of bed and rushed directly to Su Yun's room. He was panicking. The sooner he said this, the sooner Su Yun would know, and the sooner he would be out of danger. This was all closely related. But at this moment, Su Yun's room wasn't so quiet. Laughter and laughter could be heard from the room from time to time. Even Guagua, who was in the next room, couldn't hear it. She looked at the wall unhappily, then turned to Ruan Qingxuang and said, "Mama, are you so indulgent with Papa? That group is full of demonesses. Who knows, they might steal his soul away in a while. When that time comes, you won't be able to cry even if you want to. It's not as serious as you said, right?" Ruan Qingxuang smiled helplessly. This little guy really thought too much. Ruan Qingxuang and Zhua Meiyan had been too busy recently and hadn't had a good rest. Today, the artists who stayed in Shenzhen were preparing to celebrate Ling Jiling's birthday. The three bosses were all present, so they had to arrange for one of them to attend. Zhua Meiyan definitely didn't want to do this job. Moreover, the female artists definitely wouldn't like a cold and elegant female boss working with them. It would be hard to joke about that. Ruan Qingxuang also had the excuse of taking care of the child. This wasn't far-fetched, but it was true that she hadn't seen Guagua for a long time. Now that she finally had the opportunity, of course, she wanted to spend more time with Guagua. Otherwise, she didn't know when the next time would be. Therefore, Su Yun's appearance was too timely. He could solve her urgent problem. Anyway, the female artists in Sky Entertainment probably preferred to have Su Yun accompany them to have fun. What's more, the main character was Ling Jiling. Her relationship with Su Yun wasn't bad. Su Yun should go and support her. Therefore, this situation now appeared. Su Yun's room was directly filled with female artists from Sky Entertainment. Those who held a birthday party for Ling Jiling were definitely people who had a good relationship with her. At least on the surface, there wasn't any conflict. However, compared to the others, Ling Jiling was probably the first to enter Sky Entertainment. Therefore, everyone present could be said to be her junior sisters. Su Yun really didn't know what to do. He was indeed quite tired. Moreover, he didn't know where the 12 heavenly stars were hiding. He would more or less have some misgivings. However, he couldn't reject Ling Jiling's face. After all, he still called her sister. It was such a coincidence this time. If he wasn't in Shenzhen, it wouldn't have mattered. However, he was in Shenzhen this time. Ruan Qingxuang even directly pushed him out and said that he had to accompany them tonight. Su Yun had no reason to reject. Just as Su Yun was in a dilemma, Wei Yishan suddenly barged in. Wei Yishan was a little flustered this time. Therefore, when he heard sounds from Su Yun's room, he didn't even think about it and pushed the door open. "Chairman Su, I'm looking for you urgently." Wei Yishan was stunned halfway through his sentence. Damn, this room is too alluring. Why are there so many women here? Oh my, they're all stars from the movies and TV shows. There are even goddesses. Buddha Wei. Su Yun didn't expect Wei Yishan to suddenly barge in at this time. He was a little surprised. "Chairman Su, if you're using this method to lie to us and say that you have urgent matters to attend to and can't go with us, then you're too lame." Li Yi was a newcomer who had just entered Sky Entertainment 2 years ago. Her first movie was as the second female lead beside Ling Jiling. Logically speaking, the second female lead usually didn't like the first female lead. However, Li Yi didn't think so. Ling Jiling took good care of her and even taught her a lot of things. It wasn't that Ling Jiling didn't scheme against others. It was just that she had long passed that stage. She no longer needed to scheme to steal the limelight and attract the audience's attention in movies. What she liked to do more now was to train newcomers. Zhang Taisui was Ling Jiling's talent scout. Now that Zhang Taisui was no longer alive, Sky Entertainment Group was his life's work. Ling Jiling more or less had feelings for Sky Entertainment Group. If she could help Sky Entertainment Group train a few more influential artists, it would be a small repayment to Zhang Taisui. Su Yun was also a little embarrassed. He knew that Wei Yishan must have something important to say to him. However, since Li Yi said so, Su Yun didn't know how to respond. Don't make trouble. Chairman Su wouldn't joke about this. Let's not disturb him. Ling Jiling was more considerate of Su Yun. She was the only one who had contact with Su Yun, so she knew Su Yun better. At this time, Su Yun didn't have the time to contact someone to help him reject their invitation. Then we won't take Chairman Su to play? Li Yi giggled and stood up. Then sisters, let's go. We'll give Chairman Su time to deal with things. Let's go play and lose heart. Su Yun looked at Ling Jiling gratefully. Sister Jiling, happy birthday. Have fun. Then you do what you need to do. If you're done and still have the energy, come find us at Dream of the Ocean KTV. Ling Jiling said, we've booked the biggest room there. You're welcome at any time. You're also welcome to bring your friends. Okay. Su Yun nodded. If I can go, I'll definitely go. After watching Ling Jiling and the others leave, Wei Yishan said, Chairman Su, I just received a call from the 12 stars. They seem to be deliberately following you. What did they say to you? Su Yun drank a mouthful of water. Wei Yishan sighed. They asked me about your whereabouts. I said you were at the hotel. They asked me to report your movements to them at any time. I agreed first. Su Yun frowned. The 12 stars were definitely not rookies. Even if they wanted to follow him, they would definitely choose to do it secretly. They definitely wouldn't follow a group of people who acted in television dramas, pretended to sell vegetables, pretend to tie shoelaces, and pretend to be on the phone to follow and monitor him. They would definitely use the people who were best at following and monitoring him to deal with him. What should I say to them? Wei Yishan said. If they ask me many times and I still can't answer, they will definitely be suspicious. Then you tell them, hee. Su Yun smiled slightly. He originally wanted to have a good rest, but now he decided to forget it. He would go and have a drink with Sister Jiling. Just say that I went to Dream of the Ocean KTV to sing. Wei Yishan was stunned and asked tentatively, then you really want to go? Chapter 1275. Although Wei Yishan didn't understand what Su Yun meant, he still followed Su Yun's instructions. The 12 heavenly stars wanted to follow Su Yun. Not only did Su Yun not say anything, but he even took the initiative to send himself to the door. This kind of lamb was something that any big bad wolf would wish to have. Knowing that there was a tiger in the mountain, yet you still went to the mountain. This was easy to say, but it wasn't so easy to do it. There weren't many people who had this kind of courage, and only Su Yun could do it. Wei Yishan called Aries back. The other party obviously didn't expect to receive a response so quickly. Wei Yishan was impatient just now, but now he suddenly became energetic. This made Aries very surprised. What's wrong? Didn't you say you were resting? Why is there a problem now? There really is a problem. Wei Yishan frowned and said, I promised you that I will help you with what I want to do. I just heard a piece of news. I think you might be interested. When Aries Peter heard this, his eyes popped out. What? There's news? Is Su Yun going to meet Kevin Matthew? Wei Yishan rolled his eyes. Big brother, you're dreaming too much. Would you believe me if I said yes? He just arrived in Shenzhen. Where is he going to meet Kevin Matthew? But he's going out now. I don't know what he's going to do. I only heard him talking on the phone and saying that he's going to dream of the ocean KTV. I don't know who he's going to meet. I've told you his whereabouts, but I can't help you with the rest. Okay, you must provide more of this kind of information in the future. Aries Xing gave Wei Yishan a positive praise. I'll wait for your good news in the future. Okay. Then you do what you need to do. I'm going to sleep. Wei Yishan and Peter didn't have much to talk about. They hung up the phone directly. In his heart, he thought that Su Yun was really lucky. Such a group of beautiful and handsome girls accompanied him to drink and sing. Ha ha ha, the new generation excels the old. He should have been smacked to death on the beach long ago. Su Yun put on his clothes and dressed himself up. Then, he drove to the Dream Ocean KTV. Ling Jiling chose Dream of the Ocean in order to support her senior. This KTV was opened by Sister Nan. When Ling Jiling first entered the industry, Sister Nan was Sky Entertainment's top actress. But at that time, Sister Nan had to withdraw from the entertainment industry early because of her health. A person who relied on her youth to make a living, but at the most glorious time of her life, her sky collapsed. But at that time, Zhang Taisui didn't give up on her. Not only was he not as heartless as other bosses, but he also gave her a sum of money. This allowed her to use the fame she still had at that time to make Dream back to the ocean. The name of the KTV was very meaningful because when Sister Nan left the entertainment industry, she was filming a movie called The Ocean. Because of her withdrawal, the movie died prematurely. That was why she named the KTV Dreaming of the Ocean. It implied that she wanted to go back and finish filming the movie even in her dreams. Just this morning, Bing Bing and several actresses she had a good relationship with also came to Dream of the Ocean to see Sister Nan. Sister Nan was in a good mood because these little sisters were very busy. It was really not easy for them to come once. Moreover, it was Ling Jiling's birthday. Sister Nan's character was absolutely admired by everyone. That was why she could do what she did today and make all the younger generation respect her. Among all the seniors in Sky Entertainment, the only one who could do something like this was Sister Nan. When Ling Jiling and others arrived at the door of Dream of the Ocean, Sister Nan was already at the door to greet them. Although she was already in her 40s, Sister Nan looked very young. Even if she said that she had just turned 30, people would believe it. Her maintenance was really good. Happy birthday, Sister Nan said as she came to greet them. Lin Jiling quickly stepped forward and gave Sister Nan a hug. The other juniors also greeted Sister Nan. Sister Nan greeted them one by one and then took them in. The drinks in the room were already prepared for them. After all, they were all artists, and they all wore sunglasses at night. Sister Nan smiled slightly and said to the juniors who were dressed too openly, "You guys in the future, dress more normally when you go out. It's not like you're going to the red carpet of the film festival. Originally, you wore sunglasses to not attract the attention of the public. Tell me, with your dressing, how can you not attract attention?" See, I told you, you didn't listen. Now Sister Nan also said it, right? Ling Jiling said, "In the future, you have to keep a low profile. Otherwise, it's easy to cause trouble. Listen to the words of the seniors. It's not bad for you." Yes, thank you Sister Nan and Sister Jiling for the reminder. Li Yi smiled and took Sister Nan's arm. "Sister Nan, Yi is meeting you for the first time. In a while, I must learn from you and learn from your experience in acting. He, you are already very talented in acting. I'm afraid you can't learn anything from me. If you want to learn, you'd better find a skilled actor to learn from." Sister Nan smiled and said, "Tonight, we won't go home until we're drunk. For Jiling's birthday, everyone has a happy night. All expenses are free of charge. Whatever you want to eat and drink, just tell me." Ling Jiling pursed her lips and smiled. "How can that be? We agreed that today is my place. I just borrowed Sister Nan's place. I'm here to support Sister Nan, not to let you spend money. Yo, little Jiling has grown up. You learn to be polite with your sister. Sister Nan didn't hide her happiness at all. When you get an Oscar, I will definitely rip you off. At that time you can still be so generous. The group of beauties chatted and laughed as they walked in. A few men who passed by the KTV door drooled. Of course, there were also a few smart paparazzi who followed them all the way here. Just as the paparazzi was holding the camera proudly, a foot kicked the 5D camera in his hand away. His camera and lens cost tens of thousands. The paparazzi's eyes turned red. He turned around and was about to curse, but before he could say anything, he was grabbed by the neck. He looked carefully. The person in front of him was actually Sky Entertainment's chairman Sue. I don't care if you secretly take some photos to make a living. But don't use the angle to take some fake news to attract people. That will hurt the artists. Su Yun said coldly, if the camera is broken, you can fix it yourself. But I will confiscate the memory card inside. After saying that, Su Yun threw him to the ground. He picked up the camera and took out the memory card. Then, he threw the camera back to the paparazzi. The paparazzi didn't dare to say anything else. The photos he took just now were indeed used. When Ling Jiling and Sister Nan were hugging, he used the angle to make it look like they were kissing. If this was sold as news, it would definitely sell for a lot of money. One was an old generation's jade girl, the other was today's goddess. Sigh, what a pity, what a pity. Su Yun crushed the memory card and walked into the KTV without looking back. The paparazzi was stunned for a while before he hurriedly checked to see if his treasures were broken. Luckily, it was only a little scratched on the outside. The camera and lens were fine. Phew! If his treasures were broken, then he would have worked for nothing for the past 2 months. He had to admit that the things this little Japanese made were of good quality. Hey! Chapter 1276. Oh my God! At first glance, he could tell that she was a mixed-blood beauty. She looked as sweet as a flower. The paparazzo was dumbfounded. Beauty! Beauty! Do you need my help with anything? Yes. The beautiful mixed-blood beauty nodded. Do you know that person? Sky Entertainment's Mr. Su. The paparazzo said. Yes. I know him, but he doesn't know me. Then why did he greet you? The mixed-blood beauty smiled, her eyes filled with an irresistible expression. I'm in this business. The paparazzo shook his camera. Maybe I took a picture of one of his artists, so... He was a little unhappy, so he came to talk to me. The mixed-blood beauty nodded. It seems he hates you. The paparazzo was speechless. Wasn't that nonsense? If she didn't hate him, why would she throw his camera away? Why would she lift him up? He almost choked. Wasn't it obvious? He had offended her. Then I'll say you're worthless. The mixed-blood beauty waved her hand. It was unknown what drug she used on the paparazzo, but the paparazzo's eyes rolled back and he fell to the ground. The mixed-blood beauty stood up and looked up at the KTV. In the United States, such places weren't common. Some of them were opened by Chinese people in big cities. KTV seemed to be popular only in a few Asian countries. Europeans and Americans preferred bars and nightclubs. They didn't like to lock themselves up to sing. The mixed-blood beauty was the virgin actress Ellie. She rushed to the scene as soon as she received the notice, just in time to see Su Yun teaching the paparazzo a lesson. She thought she could get some useful clues from this guy's mouth, but she didn't expect him to be a useless piece of trash. Ridiculous. What a waste of her time. In Ocean Dreams, Ling Jiling and the others had been taken to the largest and most luxurious room by Sister Nan. The huge room could accommodate at least 50 people. All kinds of drinks and snacks were prepared and placed on 2 huge tea tables. Wow, this is the first time I've been to such a rich room. Li Yi was surprised. Sister Nan, you're so generous. I asked for this room for Sister Nan. I should say that I'm generous. Ling Jiling snorted. My room costs at least 200,000 yuan. Today is your birthday, so I didn't pay anyone who booked it. Sister Nan said, I think, with your current status in Sky Entertainment, the boss will come to support you, right? I can't let you lose face like this. How come none of the bosses are here? Are they that busy? Or did you not invite them? Ling Jiling chuckled. The boss doesn't have time to come here with us. We all have serious things to do. Plus, there's a lot going on at Sky Entertainment. They all lack rest. Originally, we wanted to invite Mr. Su, but he suddenly had something to do. Li Yi couldn't hold back her words. She directly sold out Su Yun. If he didn't have something to do, he would have come with us. Su Yun. Sister Nan was stunned for a moment. In her mind, this kid shouldn't be working at Sky Entertainment's booth. When did he become so enthusiastic and start working at Sky Entertainment? That kid is really working at Sky Entertainment now? They all looked at each other. Li Yi wanted to say that other than the ribbon-cutting ceremony at the Qingdao Film Plaza, she had never seen Mr. Su appear at other times. The film festival had already ended. That night, they found out that their mysterious young Master Su had come to Shinkai Hotel. Ling Jiling nodded. Yeah, he's working at Sky Entertainment too. Are you kidding me? Sister Nan pursed her lips and smiled. That kid. Is he reliable? How is he unreliable? Su Yun suddenly pushed open the door to the room. Sister Nan, you've always thought that I was unreliable since I was young. I'm already in my 20s, and you still say that I'm unreliable. I really don't want to do this. Ling Jiling didn't expect Su Yun to suddenly appear. Li Yi and the others were even more surprised. This was a super big surprise. Su Yun walked into the room and put down the birthday cake he bought on the way. He smiled at Sister Nan. He hadn't seen her in a long time. You really are unreliable. Sister Nan didn't even turn her head. She was a little unhappy. You're in a hotel in Shenzhen. You know that I have business here, but you don't come to patronize. Don't you think you're unreliable? Sister Nan, it's not that I don't want to patronize, but I really don't dare to. Su Yun, look at these things. You're always so generous. I really don't want you to spend money. If I come here every day, you'll give me a free bill. How can I come here? Sister Nan finally couldn't help but laugh. She looked back at the kid she hadn't seen for several years. Who do you think you are? If Ling Jiling comes, I'll give you a free bill. If you come, of course, I won't give you a free bill. You're the boss, an evil capitalist. How can I give a capitalist a free bill? I'm already being very polite by not charging an extra 20% service fee. Su Yun slapped his forehead. Aya, this is a black shop. Sister Ling Jiling, we came to the wrong place. Why don't we go somewhere else to play? I heard that there's a cashier not far from here. It's both economical and affordable. If you sing for 2 hours, you won't charge a room fee. It's so worth it. Take care, I won't send you off. Sister Nan pointed at the door. Don't make me call our security to ask you to leave. Sister Nan, I haven't seen you for a few years. You're still so cruel. Su Yun said with a sad face. I haven't seen you for a few years, but you haven't improved at all. You're still so unreliable. Sister Nan also said, don't talk nonsense. Hurry up and give Sister Nan a glass of wine to apologize. Maybe if Sister Nan is in a good mood, she'll forgive you for not coming to visit me for so long. Su Yun was indeed apologetic about this matter. There was no doubt about it. I came here today for 2 things. One is to celebrate Sister Ling Jiling's birthday, and the other is to apologize to Sister Nan. I'm satisfied with your words. But today, I came here for your first purpose. Sister Nan wasn't a narrow-minded person. She understood that Su Yun had something to do with Su Yun. She was only joking when she said he was unreliable. She knew very well that Su Yun wasn't the kind of person who was sloppy. Everyone began to toast and celebrate. Ai Li was a little confused when she walked into the door of the KTV hesitantly. This was her first time entering a KTV, so she didn't know what the layout inside was. This was very different from what she imagined. It was very different from the bars and nightclubs in the United States. The waiter who welcomed her also asked her which room she was going to and which room she was in. This made Ai Lee think of the separate rooms in the strip club in the United States. Ai Lee couldn't help but frown. Could it be that Soo Yoon came here to watch a striptease? I'm waiting for someone. Ai Lee refused the waiter's help. When she saw a sofa, she sat down directly. She had her patience. Soo Yoon would come out sooner or later, right? If there was anything, it wouldn't be too late to solve it when he came out. At this time, there were a few ladies who wore very little passing by. This made Ai Lee believe that Hua Xia's KTV was similar to the strip club in her country. Chapter 1277. Hua Xia's karaoke would definitely delay the start of the song. For example, you order first. You sing first. No, 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 you order first. No, 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 you sing first. When they really started singing, the mic hogs wouldn't let go of their microphones. No matter who ordered the song, the mic hogs wouldn't let go. They would sing until everyone broke down. This room was filled with mic hogs. Singing, drinking, exchanging toasts, no one was weaker than the other. As long as the atmosphere was good, everyone was a martial arts hero. Sister Nan, I'd like to propose a toast to you. Thank you for your tolerance towards me. Thank you for always caring for Sky Entertainment's artists. Soo Yoon raised his wine glass and spoke with absolute sincerity. Although you left Sky Entertainment a long time ago, I believe that everyone in Sky Entertainment will always treat you as a part of Sky Entertainment, just like me. I'll drink first to show my respect. This kid has learned how to speak better than before. Not bad, he's improved. Sister Nan said, then please take care of my business in Shenzhen. It's getting harder and harder to do business now. I'm counting on you big bosses to make some money. If Sky Entertainment's artists come to Dream of the Ocean to sing, no matter what the expenses are, bring the invoice to the company and I'll reimburse 50%. Soo Yoon patted his chest. Ayaya, look at how generous you are. If Sky Entertainment's artists come every day, won't the company collapse? Sister Nan laughed and said to Ling Jiling, don't tell anyone about this. If Mr. Zhua hears about it, he will definitely scold Mr. Su for being a prodigal. When that time comes, Mr. Su will lose face. Ling Jiling gave Soo Yoon face. Boss Su still has some face. If he asks, no matter how tough Chief Zhua is, he will definitely agree to it. That won't do. Even if you don't care about Sky Entertainment, I do. I can't let Sky Entertainment be cheated. Sister Nan said, if that happens, I won't be able to sleep well. Soo Yoon had other ideas. Over the course of a year, whoever claims the most will be the one who doesn't do their job properly. Such employees and artists should be fired. You can also set an example for others to work steadily and not let them lose their will to play around. Director Sue, aren't you being too ruthless? Lee Yi pursed her lips and said, we young people like to play. After what you said, I don't dare to play anymore. In the future, I will stay at home and watch movies at night to learn acting skills. No matter who calls me, I will firmly reject them. I won't even attend Sister Jiling's birthday in the future. Don't talk like I'm an old man. Soo Yoon rolled his eyes. I'm also a young man. Besides, it's not fun when there are leaders around. You guys can drink to your heart's content today. No matter how much Sister Jiling spends, the company will reimburse it. Just treat it as my belated birthday present. Since you've said so, I'll save money today. Sister Nan laughed. How about this? Why don't we stop drinking and ask Director Sue to go to the bar on the top floor of their hotel to get some private stash? I heard that there are some wines that can't be bought even if you have money. Sister Nan, Shinkai welcomes you to drink any time. Soo Yoon laughed and said, what kind of wine do you want to drink? I'll call someone to deliver it to us now. I'm just joking with you. Sister Nan laughed and said, "Since you're so generous, I'll let you off the bill today. Come, come, come. Let's drink. Pick a song for Director Sue to toast. The boss is here and you guys don't perform well. It's obvious that you guys are inexperienced. Do you still want to participate in the New Year's show at the end of the year? I think you guys are just heartless." After 3 rounds of drinks, the laughter continued. At this time, the lobby manager came to the door. He pushed open the door and looked at Sister Nan. Sister Nan told them to enjoy themselves and then walked to the door. Soo-yoon saw the lobby manager whisper something in Sister Nan's ear. Sister Nan's face changed immediately. She didn't even have time to tell them before she walked out with the lobby manager. Something troublesome must have happened to him. "Sister Jieling, I'm going to the bathroom." Soo-yoon stood up and said. Ling Jieling nodded, but Lee pointed to the bathroom in the room and said, "Isn't there one here? Are you afraid that we'll peep when you're peeing?" "Ha ha ha, don't worry. With Sister Jieling here, we wouldn't dare to peep even if we wanted to." Young people, as expected of young people. They were so bold when they spoke. Soo-yoon didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He shook his head and said, "I'll go out. There's only one bathroom. There are people inside. You girls can use it. I'll go out." Soo-yoon got up and walked out. He didn't go to the bathroom, but he felt that Sister Nan had something to do. Out of the room, Soo-yoon strode and chased after her. "Sister Nan, is there anything I can help you with?" Sister Nan was surprised when she saw Soo-yoon chasing after her. "No need. I can handle it myself. It's normal to have a little conflict." "Then I'll go with you," Soo-yoon said. He knew that it was normal to have a small conflict in a KTV, so if it was easy to deal with, the lobby manager didn't need to look for the boss at all. Otherwise, the boss wouldn't hire him for nothing. Sister Nan must have seen a lot of this kind of thing, so even if she heard it, she should show an indifferent look. But Soo-yoon had clearly read the anxiety on her face just now. Since she caught up with him here, he couldn't act as if nothing happened. Sister Nan saw that Soo-yoon said affirmatively, so she didn't delay. She hurried to the hall. At this time, there were many people in the hall. The KTV's internal security and waiters were all present. A mixed-race beauty with a pretty good appearance and figure was standing in front of 2 young men. The 2 young men were already bruised and swollen. They even lost several teeth. Isn't this too ruthless? Who can be blamed for this? It's the kid who didn't open his eyes. He saw that the girl was mixed race, so he thought that she would be very open-minded. He directly went forward to flirt with her with dirty words. His mouth was full of words that didn't deserve a beating. "Kong Hun Bei Bai, your brother is very powerful. Do you want to do something strange with your brother?" At first, the girl ignored him, but he was still enthusiastic. He went forward and grabbed her. He saw that the girl held him with a backhand, and her foot hooked him easily. The insolent brat was thrown to the ground with a loud thud. His face was on the ground. A few of his front teeth had been knocked out. At that time, the young man was angry. He shouted and asked her if she knew who his father was. She actually dared to touch him like this. When the other thin and tall young man beside him saw that his friend was knocked down by a girl, he was also unhappy. He went forward and wanted to slap the girl. It was the same thing. The slap didn't succeed. He was also slapped by the girl until he couldn't find his bearings. Soo-yoon knew this thin and tall young man who was slapped until he couldn't find his bearings. Last time, when Yi Fala borrowed a yacht from Soo-yoon, he borrowed it from this kid. Zhou Wanjia. The 2 of them had met before. At this time, Zhou Wanjia was viciously shouting, "Bitch! Listen carefully. If I let you walk out of this KTV alive, I'll King change my surname to yours." As a gay man, Zhou Wanjia really didn't care if a woman was beautiful or not. In any case, he didn't like women. "Young Master Zhou, what's going on?" Sister Nan went forward and tried to ease the situation. The Zhou family was very powerful. If someone really died, it would have a very bad influence on her place. Obviously, Zhou Wanjia didn't give her face. He sneered, "Sister Nan, it's not that I don't want to give you face, but look at me today. How can I, Zhou Wanjia, be wronged like this? I've never been slapped in my life." Obviously, doing business wasn't that simple. Although Sister Nan had some face in the eyes of the younger generation in Sky Entertainment, in the eyes of these rich young masters, she didn't have any face. Other than smiling and apologizing, Sister Nan couldn't solve the problem. Chapter 1278. Zhou Wanjia was stunned. He turned his head and saw that it was Su Yun. His expression changed. "Brother. Su Yun. Why are you here?" Leisure and entertainment. It seems that young Master Zhou is someone who doesn't want to be left out. Hee, do you want to come to my place and have a drink together? Su Yun smiled. It's Sister Nan's place. Let's give her some face and turn big things into small things. Don't you think so? Zhou Wanjia didn't expect Su Yun to speak up. He was stunned and said, "Brother Yun, you and Sister Nan are." Su Yun didn't even think about it. Zhang Taisui was his father. Back then, Sister Nan was also supported by Zhang Taisui. Zhang Taisui cared for them like a father. Sister Nan is my sister. We have the same relationship. When Zhou Wanjia heard this, he was stunned. He didn't expect Sister Nan to have such a relationship. Originally, he really didn't want to give Sister Nan this face. She opened a KTV. Although she was a little famous, she couldn't be compared to the Zhou family. But with Su Yun's appearance, he really didn't know what to do. Just based on his relationship with Yi Fala, Zhou Wanjia had no choice but to give Su Yun face. Not to mention, with Su Yun's status, he had no choice but to give him face. However, if he gave Su Yun face, where would he, Zhou Wanjia, put his face? He was slapped in the face. So many people were watching this. His brother on the ground was also looking at him with his face full of blood. "Brother Su Yun, this matter. How about this? You don't do anything. I won't cause trouble in Ocean of Dreams. I'll go out and solve this matter. How about it?" Zhou Wanjia felt that he had given enough face to Su Yun. "I definitely won't let this little bitch go." "Yes." Zhou Wanjia's brother got up from the ground and spat out a mouthful of blood. "This matter definitely won't end like this. My teeth." The mixed blood beauty sneered. "Scum. No matter what you want to do, I will accompany you to the end. Young Master Zhou, it's almost done." Su Yun smiled faintly. Everyone is well aware of what happened. Some things are better left unsaid. If they gave each other face, they would still be good friends in the future. Isn't that right? Let's go to my room and have a drink. Don't make things difficult for Sister Nan. Regardless of whether this mixed-race beauty was in Sister Nan's shop or not, if this matter spread out, it must have something to do with Dream of the Ocean KTV. Therefore, Su Yun had to settle this matter. With so many people around, who could guarantee that no one would spout nonsense? "Who are you?" Zhou Wanjia's brother had been holding back. He didn't know Su Yun. He only heard Zhou Wanjia call him brother. He didn't care so much. Zhou Wanjia frowned. His brother was Long Jiangqing, the eldest son and grandson of Shenzhong pharmaceutical king. His temper was usually much more irritable than his. Now that he encountered this matter, even if he could endure it, he, young Master Long, couldn't. This wasn't a small matter. He was beaten into a pig's head. How could this matter be small? It definitely couldn't be. "Long, can you give me face? This is my brother Yun." Zhou Wanjia's face was a little embarrassed. "This matter, AI. Okay, of course, as long as you, young Master Wan, open your mouth, what can I, Long Jiangqing, not give you face?" Long Jiangqing said, "But the premise is that people have to give me face. I can give him face because he is your friend. Why can't he give me face because I am your brother? Don't you think it's such a simple truth?" What Long Jiangqing said made sense. Zhou Wanjia was caught in the middle and was in a difficult position. Young Master Zhou's friend wants face. I naturally have to give it to him. However, aren't we asking for too much face? Su Yun smiled slightly. You provoked the girl in Sister Nan's shop. It's fine that Sister Nan didn't trouble you. If you don't let it go, then it's your fault. So, brother, I really can't give face to young Master Zhou. Who the F***ck is your brother? Long Zhongqing didn't agree, and he turned hostile. I'm telling you, don't take advantage of my face. Don't think that you can challenge me just because you have a relationship with old Zhou. I'm not afraid of anyone in Shenzhen. Whether it's the official or the underworld brothers, everyone will give me face. Who do you think you are? Why can't you give me face? Don't F***king act like this with me. Long Zhongqing's rude words made the smile on Su Yun's face disappear. Sister Nan didn't expect to drag Su Yun into such a matter. She was obviously embarrassed. Along. Don't go overboard. Zhou Wanjia also pulled Long Zhongqing and whispered in his ear, Brother Su Yun has a relationship with Sister Yi Zi. I heard that Sister Yi Zi could come out because of him. As long as you don't give face to me, I won't give face to anyone. Long Zhongqing was now going against this matter. Su Yun narrowed his eyes slightly. Sister Nan, if I make trouble for you here today, you won't be angry with me, right? Of course not. Sister Nan said lightly. However, I still hope that this matter can be resolved peacefully. Shenzhen is such a small place. Everyone will see each other frequently. Who doesn't need each other's help? It's fine if we give face to each other. But if someone really can't let it go, then this matter is out of my control. These words were said for Long Zhongqing. Sister Nan understood that if Long Zhongqing didn't want to do this, then there was nothing she could do. However, what made everyone confused was that the mixed-race beauty didn't take advantage of the chaos to run away. If she ran away, then this matter would be settled. But if she stayed here, then this matter wouldn't be settled. However, everyone could see from her eyes that she had no intention of running away from this matter at all. Moreover, she was really fearless. She didn't put Long Zhongqing and Zhou Wanjia in her eyes. Su Yun patted Zhou Wanjia's shoulder and motioned him to come over. He whispered to him, Young Master Zhou, don't blame me for not reminding you. The girl you are messing with is definitely not someone to be trifled with. Even if I don't get involved, you won't get any advantage. You will only lose more face. Young Master Zhou, I'm doing this for your own good. You better persuade your friend. Zhou Wanjia's face was very ugly. He wanted to say something, but Su Yun didn't give him a chance. He continued, I'm in a good mood today, so I won't argue with him. If he must try to provoke me, then let him. I'll accompany him any time. Brother Su Yun, our relationship is still here. Let's calm down a little. I'll think of a way, Zhou Wanjia gritted his teeth. He admitted that he lost face. Zhou Wanjia turned around and said, Long, I owe you for what happened today. After saying that, Zhou Wanjia directly grabbed Long Zhongqing's shoulder and pulled him out of the room. F***ck. Old Zhou, what do you mean? Who are you siding with? Long Zhongqing was definitely unhappy. This matter embarrassed him a lot. Zhou Wanjia suppressed his unhappiness. Let's go out and talk alone. You don't have to worry about today's matter. Just think of it as I owe you. If you really treat me as a brother, then come with me. Long Zhongqing's personality wasn't good. He didn't have many friends. Zhou Wanjia was one of the few people he could really talk to. He finally made up his mind. Okay, let's go. Today, I don't want my face anymore. Chapter 1279. You're leaving just like that? That's too cheap. The mixed-blood beauty suddenly stopped in front of Zhou Wanjia and Long Zhongqing with a smile. There was an imperceptible smile in her smile. This woman. Sister Nan helplessly pressed her temples. What a headache. Did she have to find her own way to death? He had already helped her solve the problem, but she still recklessly blocked the way. If the young masters of the Zhou and Long families were provoked, they could do anything. With the strength and influence of the two families, they could even invite a top master of the Zongsha realm to solve this problem. This mixed-blood girl was too arrogant. Didn't she just learn a few self-defense skills? How could she be so unforgiving? Although the two young masters were easy to deal with, the forces behind them were not so easy to provoke. Su Yun didn't stop this. He slightly raised the corner of his mouth and looked at Zhou Wanjia's back. Whether this guy had a brain or not depended on his reaction at this moment. If he was a piece of rotten wood that couldn't be carved, then let him die. The only reason he could help him once or twice was because Su Yun owed him a favor for the yacht. But he wouldn't help him for a lifetime. Seeing that Long Jiangqing was about to explode, Zhou Wanjia restrained him. Young Master Zhou, who had always been arrogant, actually lowered his voice and said to the mixed-blood girl, "I'm sorry. We're very sorry about what happened just now. We hope you can forgive us." Hearing Zhou Wanjia's apology, the mixed-blood beauty was also startled. She smiled, moved aside to block the two people's bodies, and said disdainfully, "Get lost." This was going to shock everyone at the scene. Everyone present, including the staff of the KTV and the guests who happened to see this scene, knew that Zhou Wanjia didn't have a good temper. He actually begged for mercy so humbly. This was simply shocking. Unfortunately, no one had the guts to take a picture and post it on Weibo. If they did, they would definitely gain a lot of fans. This kid was a little interesting. Su Yun's smile also became a little more relaxed. This kid was worth teaching. It was not in vain that he helped him. Old Zhou, your temper. He. Long Jiangqing had no temper at all. His only good brother and good friend had suddenly become like this, which made him puzzled. But in the end, he chose to compromise. He had already lost face, and he didn't care about losing face anymore. This matter was caused by his lust. If Zhou Wanjia didn't want to be involved in this matter, then he had nothing to say. After leaving, he would think of a way to deal with it himself. Zhou Wanjia didn't care about his face, but Long Jiangqing didn't. He must get back what he lost. No matter how big or small the matter was, he would definitely get it back. He would remember this woman. The two normally arrogant and unruly young masters had been humiliated in dreaming back to the sea. It could be said that this was the first time since the beginning of time that this had happened. Sister Nan asked Su Yun in surprise, "How do you know Zhou Wanjia?" "Just a little thing." Su Yun smiled slightly. "Some time ago, I went out to sea to get a faster boat. Yi Fala borrowed it from Zhou Wanjia. We met once. He's a broken back. He didn't harass you, did he?" Sister Nan sucked in a breath of cold air, but after thinking about it, she shook her head and said to herself, "He shouldn't. He seems to like that kind of soft and pretty boy. I'm afraid a male chauvinist like you is not his cup of tea. Just like how he treats Long Jiangqing, he can treat Long Jiangqing as a friend and won't have that kind of thought." Su Yun shuddered and his chrysanthemum tightened. Being friends with a gay. This Long Jiangqing was quite courageous. If it was him, he definitely wouldn't have that kind of courage. If one day Zhou Wanjia's beastly nature erupted and he exploded his chrysanthemum, Long Jiangqing wouldn't even have a place to cry. Just thinking about it made people feel a layer of goosebumps all over their body. It wasn't easy to be a gay, and it was even harder to be a gay friend who was straight. "Handsome, thank you for helping me." The mixed-blood beauty pursed her lips and smiled. "How should I thank you? No need to thank me. It's so late, it's not safe for a girl to be alone. Su Yun, I'll give you a suggestion. You better leave this place as soon as possible. My name is Ellie." After saying that, the mixed-blood beauty stretched out her right hand. "If you don't mind, I want to express my gratitude to you." Su Yun was startled. "Forget it. You'd better do what you need to do." "Are you looking down on me?" Ellie put on a pitiful look. "I've never sung in a KTV before. Can you take me to experience it? I beg you." Sister Nan was speechless. Was this girl here to fish for a rich guy? No way. If she wanted to fish for a rich guy, she should have gone for Long Jiang Cheng. She didn't even need to use a hook. That guy would definitely be willing to take the bait. Why did she have to spend so much effort to find Su Yun? You can sing in a room. That's easy. Su Yun pointed to the front desk. Go over there and pay for a room. You're alone. Just ask for a small bag. Generally, KTVs would say that they didn't have small bags. Small bags were cheap and didn't make much money. But since Su Yun had spoken, how could Sister Nan refuse? She quite liked this mixed-blood girl's neither servile nor overbearing personality. She directly said to the front desk, "Give her a small bag." Su Yun. Sister Nan then said to Su Yun, "You should be a good person to the end. Go to the room and teach her how to order songs." Maybe this mixed-blood girl saw that he was so manly and wanted to give him some benefits. Just leave it to me. Su Yun nodded and didn't refuse this good job. The waiters were still waiting for this big shot to refuse, and then they would be arranged by Sister Nan to order songs for this beautiful mixed-blood girl. But they didn't expect that he would agree so quickly. Were all men the same? Su Yun and Ailey were led to a small room by the waiter. The waiter turned on the machine and adjusted the microphone before serving them a few bottles of beer and fruit platters. After that, he left unwillingly. "Thank you for today." Ali said, "I thought I wouldn't meet anyone who would stand up for me." "You're welcome." Su Yun said, "You didn't need anyone's help. I just mediated. Besides, one of those two people is my friend. I stood up not only to help you, but also to help her. Also, I helped all the singing friends in this place. If things got out of hand, no one would have a good time tonight." Ali suddenly approached Su Yun. "No matter what, I have to thank you." "How do you want me to thank you?" After saying that, Ali's body was almost pressed against him. That soft feeling was really not bad. Her figure was so hot that no one could stand it. It was said that mixed-blood girls were really open. He didn't expect it to be true. "You can thank me however you want." Su Yun showed an expression that said he didn't refuse anyone. As soon as he said that, Ali directly turned over and sat on top of him. Su Yun only saw 2 white patches and a deep cleavage in front of his eyes. Sigh. This is the rhythm of making me commit a crime. The small KTV room was instantly filled with an ambiguous atmosphere. If he didn't take advantage of her, he would be sorry for Su Yun who stood up for her today. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.